But you know what, though, bro?
Every day's a podcast.
Every day's a podcast. Every day's a pod. Every day's a podcast. And we do it any way we want to. You feel it?
This is a better version of Drake's album.
Oh, shit.
Damn, nigga. I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah, no.
Wait.
That's not the way.
No, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying there is an album.
Oh, yeah.
There isn't an album.
What am I saying?
I'm not supposed to say anything. I mean, that's a good guess, though. But the cameras are rolling.
Oh, we rolling.
Oh, we rolling. We rolling. We always rolling. You feel me?
I roll. Rolling.
I like not. Am I too far back?
No, you Gucci.
Oh, so it's recorded from that joint and that joint. Okay, then. Alright. Shit.
Hey, man, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm high as fuck right now. So I'm feeling good.
Feeling good, dog.
Yeah.
Well, for y'all ain't know, today is EveryDaZeA Podcast. Every day.
Every day.
That podcast.
Y'all know what that means. Every day is a situation. Every day is something going on that's worth talking about. Every day.
And you here with your niggas, man. You know, Tireboy Q, Crownchaz, Ophishal. And we got a special guest in this motherfucker.
Special guest today.
We talked about
him last week. He was like, ain't nobody out rapping this nigga.
Ain't nobody got more melodies.
Producing.
Better production.
Video.
Engineering.
The niggas
Like,
are all
what don't
around.
he do? What do we don't do?
Flyers?
Shit,
Fly, he do everything.
You do flyers?
I mean,
He's about to start making shit. He got a shirt on. Look at this.
He got his own merch.
Flyers are that's too technical.
Hey, don't tell him what you don't do.
But anyway,
he do everything.
He's doing
man.
all. It's Joel Venom. I got the Venom.
He got the Venom.
You know, so, man.
Shout it up, bro.
Man.
Much love.
Shit.
How you feeling today?
I'm chilling, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of random shit is happening today.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of
Random funny shit though.
Yeah.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to speak on it, man?
I mean, shit. Well, I done pranked this nigga. Like probably 20 minutes before we got here.
Oh, that shit was
They pranking me on some damn. I'm out here being a concerned citizen.
And this nigga had to take a shit. And this nigga came out the bathroom, or came out the gas station, and niggas like, yo, Crownchaz. That nigga said, yo, I'm fucked up, dog. And the nigga just had a blank stare. Like,
oh, I just sat down, never looked at that nigga again.
The nigga will be in the comments like,
that
nigga Crownchaz didn't say shit to me. He over there talking to him, he said that he was fucked up.
I apologize.
He said he was fucked up.
Hey, he spoke to him.
You know what I'm saying?
But y'all should have heard how Venom had this nigga Q going. He was like,
Yeah, he thought I was, the phone was breaking up. And I was like,
And it was storming
Can you hear me?
outside.
Can you hear
Somebody
he
was
said,
like,
you hear me or am I breaking up?
That shit was
damn.
crazy. That shit was definitely crazy. But it's been a chill day, man. You know what I'm saying? For the most part.
So you got an EP dropping, don't you?
Shit.
Collab EP? 5 Daily Venoms?
Nah, that shit already dropped. That's me and Mike Boss.
Okay.
What it drop?
It dropped like a day or two ago.
Yeah, I just saw
Wait,
it.
2 days ago. So it's been out for almost a full. Well, no, yeah, a day ago. It's been out almost for a full day. Once today's complete, you know what I'm saying? Then that's gonna be 2 days it's out. But that shit is spinning in clubs out in Philly and shit. Shout out to Mike Boss. That's
Shout out
nigga.
Mike
I know that nigga for like 10 years.
And that's the one who's doing most of the singing on, or he a producer?
No, it's fully produced by me, but then it's like on the mixing and mastering is Maverick, you know, Armani Caesar. So he engineers her and shit, like from Brazil and shit. But he mix and mastered the shit, and then it's like it's featuring Hollywood Kane, Mason, who's out of Philly too, and then Maverick on one of the songs.
Oh, so you got a whole like
working man
Philly thing going on.
Yeah, that's dope.
Well, yeah, because Voss, you know what I'm saying? Voss is like one of the first niggas to put me on the show. Like he made like, you know how they got open mic nights and shit. So like way back then in our city there was no like there were certain places you could perform, but there was no straight up hip hop place. So at a coffee shop called Fenarios, he set that shit up where he was like, yo, I want to set up open mic night. And then two of my homies performed there, and then they grabbed me. And then when I performed, that's when we all just started consistently performing there. Then move into another spot when he had other shows going on. It's like, yo, I'm gonna put you on this show and shit. So it was only right when he wanted to do the damn project. You feel me? Right. He came over here too. I think you met him.
I remember you telling me about
my white boy boss and shit. Not to say it like that. You know what I'm saying? You my nigga and shit. The motherfucking Trey met him and shit. He came to the studio at In the Cut, and then he recorded all the tracks. No, he recorded some tracks. Then he came back, recorded some tracks. Then we went through the tracks and shit. Then they got shipped out to his engineer, which is Maverick and shit. You feel me? Like, and then it got all fixed up and shit.
That's
but
dope.
then when I knew it was real was when he got a whole flyer made. That's like the 5 deadly Venoms.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's on some like old kung fu.
That flyer is dope.
Yeah, and then if you look at the bottom,
with the 2 V's and the snake wrapping around.
If you look at the bottom and shit, because his name is Voss, it says Universal. Like Universal Studios, like that nigga really like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for some,
yeah, that's
so
what
that shit was crazy. Yeah, that shit crazy.
Yeah, that's what's up. Shout out to Boss.
Yeah,
Shout out.
I see you be dabbing and everything. It's like last time I came to a session with you, shit, you was and they grooming producers and everything.
It's a lot of so I manage like, well shit, I manage 3 producers now.
Sheesh.
But it's Raul 718. Cool. He out of Durham. Fucking y'all already know him, but Khalil Nassim, and then Astronate, and it's under Galaxy Child Management.
So Cosmic Oz.
Cosmic Oz. He's not a producer. He dabbles in like he be making beats and shit, but he's part of the Lifeline Collective. Shout out Lifeline Collective. He's just an artist.
Everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's just an artist right now,
Okay.
but he's planning on putting out some shit. You know what I'm saying? But I also have Second Nature too. So it's like in Second Nature, it's Sauce Big, Cap T Beats, Khalil Nassim, Narrative Baby,
Shout out Narrative.
Houston George, Mo, and Raul. Yeah, Raul.
Dang. Shout out all of them.
Shout out the whole producer squad.
It's like producers and engineers in that collective, in the Second Nature collective. But yeah, niggas doing their thing and shit. You feel me? Shout out to all of them.
Shout out, that's dope.
That's what's up. Yeah. So you got a lot of stuff moving right now.
Yeah, I'm doing my thing.
See, you got your videos going.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Shiraz Belushi.
Shiraz.
Shout out Shiraz.
Put in that work, man. I got out. I recently just put out Night Shift, and then I got OTR out on the run.
Yeah, that Night Shift.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. And which one is the one would you stand up in the car?
OTR.
That's Night Shift.
That's Night Shift.
Yeah,
I'm sitting on the car in the car scenes on the run.
But the one you drive,
they drive.
Yeah. That was Willie driving and shit. That shit, the whole video, I didn't think none of that was gonna happen. Because when we went out there, we started going to certain spots, and then every spot we hit, it just kept getting more and more intense. Like, yo, let's do this, let's do that. Then we were like, fuck it. But Lucy was like, yo, just drive. You know what I'm saying? Just drive and like rock out and shit. So that was my first time doing that shit.
That was dope.
Like standing up in the whip. But then it was crazy because if you look in the video, I got my right arm like this and I'm like this because
because
when you do that shit, like you'll be thinking like when you watch another nigga's video like back in the day, like they doing that shit, them niggas must have been going slow as fuck. Because when Willie was pushing that shit, I'm like, call me the greatest of all. I'm like looking back at shit, I'm like, slow down, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That shit was raw. That shit was raw. We were passing by people and shit. This one nigga, I seen him. He was with a group of niggas, and he walking with them. And then while I'm rapping and shit, he's like, "Oh shit, they really doing this shit." He's like, "Yo, shout out to y'all niggas."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
That's a
shit.
good feeling though.
Hell yeah!
Shout out to that nigga.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
That's why you love it when people love commenting on you when you doing a music video outside.
Yeah,
I remember when I did one with this girl, and they saw it. She was doing like a little running scene, jogging scene, and niggas was just like beep beep beep.
Anytime you shoot a video though, you notice when you outside, people always ride by looking.
Yeah,
Stop by the
yeah.
damn and crash their car looking.
yeah, that shit is true. Cause like that, they try to see what's going on and shit. It's like what? It's got to be somebody that turn their head. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for real.
It's gonna be a few people.
Hell yeah.
And where you get the name Venom from?
Oh shit. My sister, when she was in Africa and shit, it's like 2 or 3 things. So when my sister, like all my siblings come from Africa, and I was born here and shit. So my sister got bit in Africa by a snake. I don't know what type of snake it was.
What part of Africa?
The Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire and shit.
Oh yeah.
But she
I love
got.
playing with them in FIFA.
You said what?
I love playing with them in FIFA.
Shit, I used to play. I ain't gonna lie. I used to play with.
They fast.
I used to play with Cameroon.
Oh word.
Because back in the day, Cameroon was popping. You don't even know that there's a place called Cameroon.
I know because of FIFA. I know most places.
Yeah. Like Nigeria, them niggas been going crazy on FIFA. Germany, well, they probably still going in.
Yeah, Germany.
Because I remember I would play against Germany and they would kick my ass.
I know the Ivory Coast, y'all are some fast people. Every time I get on that mug, it's like 97, 99. I be like, God,
Whole team.
Damn.
whole team.
I need to start playing with them.
They might can't shoot, but
They got that shit.
Damn, y'all
They
play
got that
FIFA though?
They got that
Hell
shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
we love FIFA.
I used to play FIFA on Sega though.
Oh,
That's
Back in the day.
you should have been in for the goddamn.
They got
Yeah,
that shit.
episode.
They got that
All
shit for
games.
$10 though.
They got Sega.
That's what Ford.
I didn't even know they had
Shout out my
Sega.
homie Ford.
Yo, FIFA go back.
I didn't even know we got that far.
Yeah.
Shout out my homie Ford. He said that shit. He was like, "Yeah, that shit's for $10 right now."
Damn,
Shit.
that's crazy. But let me go back to the Venom. Let's go back to the Venom. Let's go.
Yeah, so my sister got bit by a snake, and then in order to cure her, they took the venom out of her snake bite, but then they put some of the venom back in to heal her. So it was like, all right, from that I took like, all right, the same shit that kind of reverse, like the same shit that could possibly kill you could like make you stronger and shit.
Ooh.
And then my brother, he was like in love with snakes and shit. You feel me? So it was like, but I didn't take it from no fucking no Marvel shit, because I really wasn't no superhero.
Spider-Man.
Only superhero I knew was like Superman, and only like
animated shit anyway though, right?
Nah, like the only the first anime I got into was Dragon Ball Z, because I was just hooked on that shit, and then that's what led me into other shit. But that's where the Venom shit came from. You know what I'm saying? But before that shit, I was named. My name was J Venom. And then I was just like, all right, but I took the J dot Venom because J.R. Writer. Because at a certain time, I was like, yo, this nigga nasty as fuck, like, you know what I'm saying? But then
I'm gonna get hood like a transmission.
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Classic.
And everybody had the J shit
Yeah.
back then, like in the the 2000s or some shit, like it was J something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
J.
J Murder or some shit,
Mills.
like J Mills and shit. So I was like, all right, my name. Guy Joel, like J Venom, but then I was just like, man, fuck it, Joel Venom. You know what I'm saying? Put that shit together.
That's dope.
Then I was like, damn, you can't go back now because this is probably your final name.
Because
Because you know
Where did Joel come from?
Oh, that's my middle name.
Okay.
So I was just like, I took the Joel off, or I took the Joel from that shit.
That's
You know what
dope.
I'm saying?
That's dope.
I wanted to do my middle name too, but my mom
I
blessed me
can't
with
do
it.
mine.
But see, there was a
name
moment.
too white.
My mom blessed me
See,
with
there
it.
was a moment in time, right, where like, y'all probably remember this too. There was a moment in time where like niggas started actually using their name.
Yeah.
So then some of my homies were like, yo, if you use your real name, like your first name, bro, and I was like, yeah, bro, I know that'd be cold, but I done put everything out under this name.
So you want something similar to
It's hard to change
Nah,
your name.
I wanted-
with
I
a
gotta-
lot of content.
Or you mean
It's
after
like
Joel?
it's like when that thought comes up when you're an artist or whatnot, or even just anybody. it's like you gotta think, like if you don't put out mad work,
That's what I'm saying.
under that shit, you don't want to lead people to somewhere else.
That's
Like,
what I said. Because I want to change my name, but I got so much content out, bro. It'd be hard to transfer that over to another name.
Yeah.
Really?
You know what I mean?
And most people that do transfer it over, they got it going on. Like they getting streamed back to back, so they can do
and people
shit
really
like
know
that.
you.
And
You know what I'm saying? It's difficult. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They can do that shit and then lead their audience. You know,
Well,
what
they
I'm
got a
saying?
racist ass name and got to change that.
Yeah.
Because that name, goddamn mulatto out this bitch, and they like, no, you can't be mulatto. And they like, okay, I'm mulatto.
Uncle Cracker's forever. The
For
country
real.
singer.
Hell yeah.
He ain't changed his shit for nobody.
And
How you come with your name, Q?
Man, I've been working with ties as long as I've been rapping out this bitch.
Thought you said the bad.
I've been working with ties as long as I've been rapping. So the Tireboy, it's kind of like a schoolboy Q thing, but I do tires. So it's Tireboy Q. And my first song I ever like put out was called Tired, because I was tired of like working every day, all day type shit like that. So it became like two different things of being both of them. So
I'm tired too, boy.
Yeah,
I'm tired, nigga. I'm tired of working.
Yes,
that's dope.
Enough.
I was working like 70 to 80 hours a week out this bitch.
Damn.
Like 7 days a week, going in for no reason out this bitch. Looking back at it like, damn, could have did a lot more.
Right at that time.
Because at that time I was spending money just to spend money. So if I had $500 or $2,000, it was gonna be done by the end of the week.
Word.
So it really wouldn't matter. I'm just wasting my time, really.
Yeah, your
At
time.
that point, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
Venom, what got you into producing?
Shit. Shit, it's funny.
Making beats.
My homie that I was on the phone with on the way here, that's one of the first niggas that actually, shit, that was the nigga. Shit, I always like dabble in shit. Like I remember when FL 6 or 7
Okay.
was
well,
out,
you remember that
and
three.
that's when I tried. That's how I know.
That's still throwback.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's throwback.
And that's how I know about FL keys, because at that time it was like I was using, I don't know if they still got it, I was using the VST, the stock VST, called DX like 10 or some shit. And I made a melody out of that shit. But that's when I first realized, oh shit, program, it's crazy, it's a whole program way before that. I just remember the shit, so I'm about to say it. But
It was Citrus?
nah, it's something else. So fucking boom, when I made the melody, I'm like, oh shit. Well yeah, that too, Citrus, yeah.
That's one
So
of the classic
boom,
joints.
when I was using that shit, I'm like, oh shit. And I saved this shit, I'm trying to save it. And I'm like, oh shit, you can't save this shit.
You gotta have the full rights.
So then I was like, alright, exit off of this shit. So then what that made me do, like certain times, was like, let's say 2 months go by, 3 months go by, boom, I download FL again. You feel me? And then I do the same shit, but I know that I can't save it. So I'm like, shit, nigga, you just enjoyed this sound. It's either you finish this shit, export this shit, because you can't buy it. Like, you're not of age yet. Well, not of age, but I mean, I don't got no credit card or no, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a job. At this point, I didn't have a job because I was young and shit. So it was like, I was dabbling in that shit and then uninstalling it, you know what I'm saying? All that shit.
You got the demo version.
But then it got to a point where, like I said, my boy Amp that I was on the phone with, I started chilling with my man Amp, and then it's like I hacked the shit one day. But way before I meet Amp, me and him was working at this one place called Giant. It's a grocery store in PA and shit. That shit's just like Food Line. Like it's like the food line of PA and shit. Giant. So motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? We working there and shit. Long story short, after I'm chilling with him, I'm bringing my desktop. So certain days he's like, oh shit, why don't you bring your mic? I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just bring my desktop and leave my mic, because I just, you know what I'm saying, I had it hooked up a certain way. I'm making beats and shit. He's smoking and shit. You feel me? Outside. Yo, that shit hard, bro. And I'm like, word. And then he started being like, he said like 2 things. Like over time, it would be mad times I would go over to his crib, bring the whole shit. This would be like the only nigga that I knew around there that I would bring my whole shit to, and I wouldn't
That whole PC.
The whole PC, and I wouldn't think like anything of it. I would bring it to my homie Mikhail, shout out Mikhail and Easy and shit. I would bring it to all my niggas' cribs, but when I was at his crib was when I was doing the beats, and he was like, yo, them beats hard, bro. Like, you should put them shits out. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna put them shit, like, it's old ass beats on my YouTube that I can show you that it's like, yeah, this was the time that I'm talking about. But when I would do that, you know what I'm saying, he encouraged it all the time. Yo, you need to start making beats more. So then, over time with that, right, when I was about to move, was also around time when I'd freestyle, he'd be like, yo, you need to go off the top more. But I never went off the top. You know what I'm saying? I would always write my shit, but when I would freestyle, I would go crazy and shit. Right. So by the time I got here, when I moved, my shit was in storage, my mic. So when my mic was in storage, I was like, first I didn't know my mic was in storage, so I automatically thought, and this one I knew, like, damn, like, when you really love this shit, the tiniest things, like your computer, your headphones, like, all this shit will trigger some shit, like, if you don't know the situation that's going on with it. Yeah. So then, I'm like, oh, shit, this shit lost, so I'm, like, panicking and shit. My mom's like, nah, we just gonna see what's up with storage. Then they say, oh yeah, it's in storage. So now it's like, oh, now it's a bigger challenge. What you gonna do, nigga? Yeah. If your mic is in storage, how you gonna record? Obviously, you can't record until y'all get y'all house and y'all move in. Right. So I'm like, what's the thing that I could do that could make me feel like I'm recording, but I'm not recording? Because I was always writing. So I was like, man, fuck it. I'm gonna keep making these beats. I'm gonna go back to this shit. And then I just went, it would be every day I would do that shit because I couldn't record. Yeah. So then that replaced me recording. And by the time I moved into my crib, you know what I'm saying? Fucking, I was already putting that shit on YouTube, selling leases, you know what I'm saying? On SoundClick, going up, motherfucking. I didn't even know because I was on SoundClick. And that's when I figured out, like, oh shit, the niggas, like, because at that time you had to get, like, if you had a page, it was cool. But the only way niggas could really see you and you could really sell beats is if you got a VIP page. And then if you hollered at a nigga, a graphic designer that you knew that could make the whole coding for your own custom shit. Yeah. So I knew niggas like, shout out Sketch Media. And it's crazy because when I followed him, I was in PA, 2000. But he from here. Like when I followed him, I was moving from PA, and this nigga's from here, and I was like, damn, this shit's crazy. This shit is like, you know what I'm saying? This shit is aligning. Like I moved here, get the SoundCloud shit, whatever, do the beats up. The nigga I buy the coding from is from NC, but I've been following him, and I was on forums with him, like rap, hip hop forums, years. So he already knew me. Yo, I'm gonna give you this shit for the low. Then when I start pushing this shit, I start, you know what I'm saying, finessing my shit. When I'm finessing my shit and then getting all these views or whatever, not finessing like getting fake views, like I'm going in here promoting, going through different forums, whatever. When I'm doing this shit, this is at a time where like YouTube, it's like they don't really have the 30-second rule. So when you click on a beat or you listen to a song, then views going up. But they do have a limit. Like it's probably at 300 and then it freezes. And then that means that what, to me, because I used to push with my homies back in PA, that always meant like, oh, push through that shit. The fact that it say 300, it's not 300. Keep pushing that shit so that by the time you refresh that shit later on the next day, that shit you at like 3,000, you feel me? Yeah. So I would do that shit with the beats, and then a motherfucker reached out to me. This one I knew it was real, because when I got to my crib, right, of course you don't have internet until the motherfuckers come and hook your shit up. This was the craziest shit ever, right? So for some strange reason, I had a feeling that some shit was going down. I got an email. We was in the apartment or whatnot. I got an email before we left, and I looked, and it said from@gmail.com. Like, it was blank. It said from@gmail, right? And I've been talking about this shit because I don't give a fuck. Like, the dude don't work for this shit no more, so I talk about this shit.
We talking about it.
So motherfucking, I was like, all right, what the fuck is this? But they were asking, how much are your beats and how much are your beat packs? So by then, even like I said, I had SoundClick, so I had a set thing where it was like 5 beats, 10 beats, 15, 20. It would show the shit. So I go ahead and I didn't even take that information. I already knew that shit. Like that's like my regular thing to say if you asking for beats. So I responded, said that shit, right? Even though I didn't know who I was talking to, but something told me I was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
So then I get in my crib, no internet, right? Boom. Then the next day, we got internet. First thing I do, I check up on my Gmail to see like if there's somebody else. Boom, it is somebody else. It's fucking Peter Schwartz that used to be Wale's manager and shit from motherfucking Atlantic. And this nigga hit me, but he's cussing me out. And I'm like looking at the shit and he's like, you stupid motherfucker, we were trying to get a beat pack and you didn't even list your prices and all that. We were trying to get Snow the product on your shit, but da 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 da. But in my head, I'm looking at the shit and I'm like, first instinct, I'm like, let me respond to this nigga. Yeah. Like, because he talking crazy, but then he got me blocked though. That's what was crazy. And that's when I figured out on Gmail if a motherfucker, let's say that's when I figured out what being blocked is. Because when I responded, that shit said, and then it didn't go through, and I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. But then I'm looking, and I'm like, hold on. I know I be smoking, but I wasn't smoking like that back then. So then I checked the other email to the @Gmail, and nigga, it showed that I listed the prices. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is weird as hell. Then I looked him up, and he was Wale's motherfucking manager and shit. So what the fuck? But he's not Wale's manager no more and shit. You feel me?
What happened with the Gmail though?
With the Gmail, they just never hollered at me no more. So then to me,
so how did it come as @Gmail?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
But what I'm thinking is, he sent somebody, like one of his assistants, to contact me to see about the pricing and shit. You feel me?
So it was on them.
Yeah, it was because they didn't see it, but it's there. Yeah. But I literally responded and shit. But what's crazy is what's crazy is when you like are about basically that was gonna be my first placement, right? But peep this though. That was gonna be my first placement, right? But when I was talking to my brother, he was like, nah, nigga, don't let that shit phase you because them niggas gonna feel salty when you keep going and you get a placement from somebody else. Back then I didn't even know what that he wasn't saying placement. I didn't even know what that word was. Right. But I was just like, damn, a famous person was going to get on my shit, right? Mm-hmm. But peep this, though. So I get over that shit. I keep pushing beats. SoundCloud starts booming. So then I'm like, fuck it. I got a SoundCloud where I rap on. I'm like, fuck it, nigga. I'm going to make a SoundCloud for my beats. Start pushing these shit. You know what I'm saying? Pushing it. Then Twitter is going crazy, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be on Twitter. So what I started doing was like taking my SoundCloud link, and then I would search in Twitter. This is game too, because you could still do this shit.
Big fact.
So boom, what I would do is I would go on Twitter and I would search and I would be like, send beats. Mm-hmm. I would type in send beats, and then all the tweets would come up with niggas that are like, yo, somebody send me beats. Send beats here, send beats, right? But me being new in North Carolina or just period or new to this whole type of shit, I was just like, you know what? Everybody that's tweeting, I'm gonna take this link and motherfucking reply. Yo, you need beats, boom. And I would do that shit, and then I would get off of that shit. You feel me? And then I would motherfucking keep making beats and shit. Bruh, time by time, motherfuckers, when I started going on Twitter again, same procedure, but not typing in send beats, I would type in my name. And when I would type in my name, I'd see produced by Venom, produced by Joel Venom, produced by this. Then I was like, all right, let me type in produce space Joel Venom. Bro, I started seeing mad niggas putting their shit out on SoundCloud
through your shit
and giving me credit and shit.
Word.
So then I said, all right, bet I'm gonna repost these niggas shit. Like when you could
So
like,
you was sending them free beats? You just let them download the shit for free?
yeah, well, not download the shit, but I was like, they went to the SoundCloud, and obviously they could hack the shit. But my shit was tagged up though. My shit was tagged up like a
niggas ain't care about tags.
But all I wanted, all they wanted.
Right over them tags.
But listen, this is game 2. All they wanted was the recognition, right?
Right.
That's all I wanted. So it was an even exchange to me. It's like as long as you go on my beat. And then it's saying L's, because that used to be my tag and shit before other shit. And you would just hear that shit. Then at one point, it was this one nigga, and niggas know who he is. It said, Uno the Activist, and then it was the song called, it said Uno the Activist Kicking Doors. And then it said produced by Joel Venom and shit. And at that time, I didn't know who he was, but all I seen was that he was from Atlanta and shit. Nigga, 2 or 3 years past, that nigga is Cardi's motherfucking Playboy Cardi's fucking cousin and shit. Like that nigga's famous as shit now too, Uno. But I just at that time it was wild because the SoundCloud shit was so crazy that any nigga that uses whatever or posts some music that niggas is on, it's like you don't know who gonna blow. And at that time, I wasn't really fully equipped with knowing contracts and shit like that, and I was just like, yo, I need to get my name out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, through YouTube, through SoundCloud, all that shit. And that's what eventually did get my name out there to where, like, mad motherfuckers just, as long as I kept putting out beats, like, type beat this, type beat that, Chief Keef type beat, fucking Lil Reese type beat. You know what I'm saying? That's shit dope. Like that. Even with the Chief Keef shit, mad niggas, like, and that's what niggas should do if you're a producer.
That's free game.
Like you like do what works best for you too, but you don't have to do everything online and shit. Meaning like you don't have to be on every single site, but do what's best for you. Like if your YouTube is working and your SoundCloud working, or if your SoundCloud is working and your YouTube ain't working, but your BeatStars is doing it, or if you're good with just being in person with niggas and selling beats and getting them off like that, keep doing that shit because it's like the more you keep doing it, it's what's working. And you can't go to the other shit that's not working. You know what I'm saying? Like I put up a beat before on YouTube and I've had like, for instance, I made a lot of core beats, you know that shit. But then there'll be beats that you'll dabble in and try to make, and them shits won't get as many views. And it's not because of the views, it's because of the views plus this is what niggas are used to and they love from your shit. You feel me? So it's like that's what the audience is paying attention to. Like what they fuck with, you gotta put out, you know what I'm saying? What they fuck with. You know what I'm saying?
Like music in the sense.
Yeah, and you gotta own in on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has heard music before. Yeah. Everything reminds niggas of everything. You know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of shit. We were here before we were here type shit. So this is all just a repetitive cycle of shit. But it's like you just gotta know how to maneuver with that shit. Like you gotta own in on that shit. You gotta do what works. You feel me? Like I remember when niggas was like, I don't know about the melody shit. You know what I'm saying? They were saying that. But then me, I'm like, nigga, little do niggas know I love singing. Like, like I love my singing and I love like singing, period. Like R&B, all this type of shit, like house music, like we were discussing before and shit. So I'm like, fuck it, man. I'm gonna do that shit.
It feel good.
You know what I'm saying? Every single tape that I did, like down the line on that Piff and shit, had like it had hard shit, conscious shit, but then it always had like an R&B song. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I always wanted to do. Every project I did, I was like, yo, let me dabble in this shit. And now it's crazy because that's what I like to do, the melody shit. Mostly.
Great,
you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I really wanted. But you always got to make a gateway for that shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's what's crazy. It's like you can come out as that, but then eventually you have to gateway into something else. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could be conscious of shit, but then like, what if you want to sing? Yeah. And then you have to be able to have niggas to be comfortable with how you rap consciously, and then be like, all right, I'm gonna take this left turn real quick, and then when you do that shit, and they like, oh, then that means, all right, now I gotta keep this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. This shit's
Somebody
crazy.
talking to me, bro.
Yeah, basically, because that's the same shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's what it is. You just gotta stay consistent with it. Like, because it's wild. Like, you know how crazy ass fans would be? They'll be like, nigga putting out this type of music. You feel me? But it's
right.
But it's like, nigga, the nigga has been making this music for 10 years. And you've been loving it. The nigga decided to not make this music on a Tuesday. And now you fucking mad. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's not a bad thing. It's like, nigga, like, how many, like, man, what? It's so many artists, bro, and famous artists. Bro, them niggas don't make it's the songs that you hear on the radio. But them niggas got like, probably over 3,000 songs that's unreleased. That's probably different shit that you're like, oh shit, if you actually end up
the
in
label
the
won't
studio,
even let them put out type shit.
That's what I started learning and shit. When I started ending up in like studios with like certain artists and shit, like big artists and all that shit, and even when that still happens and shit, I'm like, I never really like I come prepared. Yeah, another thing, like if you're a producer and let's say you go into the studio, right? If the big artist is there, or if the artist that you want to work with is there, do your research on the artist. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, the damn one. But do your research on the artist. That way, by the time you get there, you already got a whole pack. You know what I'm saying? A whole pack that's catered to the artist of his style. For real, for real. But at the studios now,
It's in the middle.
you can't really expect a nigga to really like do what you think is
He's gonna do.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be unexpected. And plus, you don't know that nigga.
But now, like the consumers, like listen to something different every day. So it's like you can have different fans every day. Like you don't, like like now you don't gotta like stay in a fan base. Cause everybody on like Spotify, like nobody even like. I mean, I still do, but a lot of people don't care about nobody's whole album. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go listen to 3 songs they like.
Yeah.
And then they gonna go listen to 3 songs of some other shit.
The attention span is low as hell.
That's right.
That's why it's like it's always fuck it. It's always get with the times because it's like me and my boy Trip. Shout out Trip, Acid Trip.
What's up, gangster?
We were talking about how songs used to be long as hell.
Oh yeah.
And then
Turk just posted that.
Yeah.
3 verse
and
songs.
Niggas do. You feel me? But the thing that's crazy with it, it's like, it's you. You know what I'm saying? You know your brain, it's wild. It's like, because even when I talk, you know what I'm saying? It's like your brain is gonna like only be used to certain shit.
It's gonna stop.
We used to 15-second clips.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because if niggas do a 3-verse song right now, or 3, the most it's gonna go is like 3 minutes. It'll stretch further, but depending on if a nigga really listening to that motherfucker, you feel me?
Yeah, that's the thing. And you can't be driving. Because honestly, at this point, people listen to music and these songs are like 2 minutes, and they don't even get to the end of the song before they skip on to the next.
But this is why if you notice, right? If you go on Spotify, like you talking about Spotify, if you see a nigga with like 2 or 3 albums, I'm not gonna lie, my brain says
I'm not listening to all of these.
You know why? Because it's only 3. You only got 3 projects. So now if this one is good, and then I go to the next one, and then let's say I go to this one, I'm probably gonna listen to 6 songs out of 10, right? Not because I want to just listen to 6 songs, but the way it'll hit my brain or like the frequencies or whatever. Then I go to the next one. It might be 2 or 3 I like from this genre. Yeah. But then if it's like 2 from the last one, then I'm like, bro, you gotta have at least 7 projects. Because if I just went through these, you gotta give me time to, if I like 2 from the third one, and let's say all of these have 10 songs. If I only like 2 songs from the third album, right? The third EP, and it's only 3 on this nigga Spotify, right? Then that means I have to have time to digest 8 of them way later. Yeah. If I like 4 on the second one, that means I have to have time to digest the rest of the 6.
And
then if I like the 6 on the first one, you already get what I'm saying.
The thing that make it tough is there's so much music to listen to.
Yeah.
There's so many other artists.
Right.
So while you attempting to listen to these 3 albums from this artist, there's another artist you might think of, oh, bro just dropped 2.
Yeah.
You go to listen to that.
beat
And
might
then you
sound
end
like
up,
something
and then
else.
you end
Yeah.
up,
You
yeah.
might
So
go
it's
back
like,
and listen to something from the, yeah.
so it's like, and then I be telling people like, it's a lot of things that niggas be fucking up on, and I used to fuck up on it because I always speak from what I did wrong as well. Like you can't, like I've had niggas that I recorded before or seen that would record a song, boom, and drop that shit, and even though that shit be rocking, it's like now you gotta have certain rollouts because of the DSPs and shit. Like sometimes shit won't fully hit niggas now. You know how a distro kids like you gotta have shit what do they say, 2 weeks ahead?
Yeah.
Or some shit. So like that makes you be like, alright, damn, I can't really. But then you see like other niggas that really got a fan base, they can just drop shit. Why the hell they keep dropping?
I don't even know.
But
what's
some
up.
people actually will release their shit like a month later and give you time to roll it out.
That's what I'm
You know what I'm
saying.
saying? And the main thing I'm thinking about now is singles. Because just like you said, the attention span's so short. Singles are short EPs. 3 songs. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Something that people can listen to really quick and make it
Can
their
always
favorite
listen
3
to.
songs. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to get through a whole album no more. Like you said, people's
Yeah.
attention span is so short.
They gotta be
bro.
super fans.
You feel me? To
Yeah.
listen to a whole
So-
album, I got maybe like 5 people that I know for sure may have listened to my whole album all the way through. And every time I drop something, they listen to the whole album all the way through. But I got a lot of people that be like, yo, that Rubik's Cube, that Pay Me, you know what I'm saying? And those are the songs that they like. You know what I mean?
But then from there, you know that at that moment, that's when you gotta wing and be
singing.
like, all right, they liked this, and this. So now I gotta put 5 songs together or do these type of songs so that niggas like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
It's
they,
always
like,
going.
yeah.
It's
Like,
crazy.
niggas don't
It's
give a
crazy
fuck
like
about
that.
a pattern. They like patterns.
Like
They
it-
like shit to sound the same, honestly.
Yeah, in a way.
Yeah,
like,
but you don't
know what I'm
gotta
saying?
you don't gotta
And
try to
you
kill
like-
them with 16 songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Or 11 songs. People don't want to hear that many songs
Yeah.
no more.
Facts.
And you still relevant. If you drop a EP this year and it's only 5 songs, and then in between that you dropping singles, single all year.
Yeah.
And then you get to this time next year, drop a 3-track EP or
Yeah.
5-track EP, you still relevant. But you got to keep hitting them and make sure they really like these songs.
Yeah.
Put your
You gotta-
time into
you
1
gotta
to
make-
3
You
songs.
should make 20 songs and pick 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
You
Know
know
you
what
know
I
the folk gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I realized
And in
too?
between, you could pitch those other ones like on the side, like, yo, listen to this. What it sound like? You know what I'm
Just to
saying?
get
Just in
feedback.
between, yeah.
Yeah, and then also it's like it's crazy when you think about it. It's like when you keep it real, because I know I've done it before, but now I'm like, fuck that. When you got something right and you put it out, do you just share it once?
Yeah.
We don't share it enough.
That's
I'll
what I'm
say
saying.
I'll
I've
say
noticed.
that.
I've
It may not
noticed
be
from
once,
the
but it
young
ain't enough.
boys.
They should
I've
share
learned
it.
from the young boys every day. Like, let's say one of them niggas, like the youngest, they put out a video. Boom. Bro, that whole day, they're putting up that clip every hour or every 2 hours. They're sharing that shit. And then when you see the shit, it's kind of weird because it's like sometimes, and I don't blame niggas because it's happened to me before, you'll be doing so much shit in life that like you'll forget the simplest of the simplest things, right? And then I'd be like, a couple weeks ago, I was like, yo, the reason why this shit be happening is because niggas keep putting it pause in niggas, motherfuckers' faces. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers keep posting. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers, they just keep doing something.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like back to doing what works and shit. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, some niggas out posting shit. You feel me? But then it's something else that they doing to where that shit still.
They doing it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Like, we mad that people ain't sharing our shit, but we ain't sharing our shit like we supposed to be. Like, you might get hard for 2 days. Then after that, you back to talking about the politics.
Cause you
Yeah.
feel,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
feel like people should go hard after that.
You know what I mean?
Low key, so you like, man, nobody doing this shit too.
But you supposed to do it.
Yeah, but
you
this
supposed
is,
to do
cause
it every
look,
day.
Cause think of it.
Yeah.
Like, man, there's a bit like, man, I've got videos, right, that I put, alright, fuck it, nightlife. Or not life. Night shit. I've been pushing that shit, right? But then it's like, a couple weeks ago when I was pushing that shit, it wasn't staying at a certain viewpoint, but I was like, damn, I don't have time to push this shit. But then I said, fuck it, let me keep pushing it. Every single day that shit is going up because I keep posting.
You got it in your
You know what I'm saying?
the
So
phone
now
in
I'm
your
like,
hand,
damn.
bro.
It's like one
the
new
phone in
person.
your
You know what I'm
hand,
saying?
dog.
But that's
You know,
really
it's
the
easy,
thing
bro.
that niggas
Yeah.
used to, if you really think about it.
That's how they did when they pushed it in real life.
Nah, when we were younger, we did that.
No facts.
When you think about it, we had no problem doing that because we really didn't have shit going on.
Yeah, bro. I
You
used
know
to be
what I'm
out
saying?
selling CDs. Like,
Yeah, that's
all
what I'm
types of
saying.
stuff. Yeah.
Like we had that, so it was like, all right,
Yeah.
but then it's like now it's like that's one of the most simplest things. You feel me?
That we skip.
Just keep sharing your posts.
That we not that we skip.
You could really get
That
an
we
auto
forget.
poster, bro.
That's the only thing we forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm saying we as artists, like even nationwide, it's like it's mad talented people, but it's like you gotta do like, all right, for example, like, yeah, I be posting it, and niggas gotta realize when I'm saying that 10 beats a day shit, I'm not fucking lying, and I really am making 10 beats a day. You know what I'm saying? But then if I'm not making 10 beats a day, I'm making 7. You feel me? A month or two ago, I put that in my head and been doing that. I just started saying that now because that's what I've been doing. You feel me? But that has leveled me up with like a sense of discipline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you got, if you do feel the you know what I'm saying, the itch to make beats, you gotta make this much. So now it's like when I make that much, it's like, all right, nigga, what the fuck you gonna do next?
And
You
these
know what
all
I'm saying?
finished beats that you done written
Nah.
and everything?
I mean, this shit, like, I just make the beat.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? I go by the Tupac shit.
Yeah.
Nigga, record the song, you know what I'm saying? Get the song down, who gives a fuck about the mix, go back, nigga, when you got time, nigga, keep going. As long as you laid that shit the fuck out and you raw at what you doing, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas know how it is, like, I ain't know Justin Bieber. I heard Justin Bieber gotta finish all songs he started the same fucking night or some shit. But fucking, yeah, man. You can arrange your shit later. You know what I'm saying?
But real talk, you got the discipline. You said you had the Fruity Loops demo version, bro. You had to make the beat
And
right
start
then.
over.
No. You had to finish that bitch. Like, either you gonna make the beat exactly how you
Or that
want
shit
it
gone.
right now, or it's gone.
Yeah,
because
that's what
they
I'm
gave you
saying.
the ability to render it. You can make it, and
you gotta render it, and then that's it.
But after
That's how
that, it's
PlayStation
done.
2s was. When I used to try to
They had
play
a
the
memory
game,
card.
if they had a memory card, it was gone. You could never say.
Bro, I'd be making the beat, and I just like put the computer to sleep, and
I
then
used
come
to-
back and finish it later on.
But see, before that program type shit, I used to do different shit. I used to like, I had it wasn't no boombox. It was like a stereo system and
God.
shit. And then it was
going back
crazy.
to
It
record
had,
shit?
it had these two inputs. It was like the headphones, and it was like the mic input. So what I used to do is these skinny ass strap headphones. I would put them on my ears. And then I have earbuds, and I would put them in the mic input.
Yeah.
And then all I had was like blank like cassette tapes, because this is what I used to do before I had the computer type shit, and before I got a laptop.
Karaoke
I would put in the
music.
fucking. It had the 2 slots. I would play the CD, right? I'd play the CD, my nigga. Play like a J Arms instrumental. You know what I'm saying? The ones I fuck with.
Yo,
And
that's
then I'd
the
have the
road
blank.
back.
I'd have the blank tape on this side. Or I had 2 tapes in that shit, and it had one side where you can record and you hold it down like that, and then you know what I'm saying.
Real
You
classic shit.
Yeah, you
That's
play it
the road
after.
back.
So then when I would do that shit, then I realized like, and it's crazy when I think about this and I say this shit. Then when it was like, all right, you gotta do ad libs, right? I would do the same shit.
But take the tape, you gotta record over
the
tape
and go right back, and then boom, do my ad libs, and then I would notice, oh shit, nigga, you being too loud. Gotta redo that shit or some shit. So then I would like redo the whole shit. But then I know how to level my voice.
Right. That's just crazy. You gotta rap it all the way through the hook, the song, all of it.
Yeah,
all the way
bro.
through.
I used to have tapes. I used to have real tapes. You know what I'm saying? It would be like little shit.
Yo, you ever took the tape and had to push the little piece out so you can record over it? No, some of the tapes was a safety piece.
Oh yeah.
Because some of the tapes had the safety piece so you couldn't record.
But see,
I
would
used to take my mama old like Shirley Caesar tapes and everything and record over them joints, bro.
See, I would get the Memorex shit.
I couldn't get my. I ain't had
but then it was like some other shit.
Blanks.
It was some other shit they had.
Real tapes to record over them joints.
There was some other real deal tapes they had with like mad space on that shit, and I was just so crazy. Yeah, I would rap on
heavy tapes,
mad beats, bro. I'm talking about like in the club, fucking Wankster, fucking all that shit. I would rap on all that shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit used to be fire too.
That's throwback. I wish I had some of my tapes. I recorded on tapes the same way too, bro. I used to have a little hand recorder. And I'll play the beat and record it on the hand recorder. And then take what I did right there and put that in the stereo and take another tape so I could do my ad lib.
Yeah, bro. That
shit
shit
quality
crazy,
was
bro.
trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro.
I would love to hear it though.
But then when you look, like when I was listening to the songs that I actually liked, I'm like,
you
vibing to that shit.
You know what you're saying.
And then it was crazy because I had a Walkman. So it was like I would do that shit, put that shit in the Walkman with the tape on, the tape slot,
and be in school.
Yo, niggas didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
With the little metal band, metal band and the little foam headphones.
Until you listen to that Jay-Z 444 song, you just a nigga. Then niggas start fucking. That's how it be, bro. In real life, niggas start listening to Kendrick Lamar and start thinking about
getting mad.
Being black.
You wanna quit?
Yeah,
quit your goddamn job.
You know what? We against something, my brother. It's like, nigga, Kendrick just dropped, nigga. That's what you gotta ask niggas these days. What? Did Kendrick just drop my nigga? He said, nah, brother, it's not even like that. Nah, nigga. Check the shit.
You
Kendrick
will be alright.
39 minutes ago and shit.
You will be alright.
Y'all heard the episode of Martin with the dude was like all extra Black Panther like, and then they went on a little ski trip, and he ended up being with the white bitch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's how it be. Some of the most pro-blackest people go with a white girl.
That's a fact.
All Jordan Peele's movies.
All of them.
And his wife be right there at the table helping him out with
You
it.
said Jordan who?
Jordan Peele.
Jordan Peele?
Mm-hmm. You know,
like Peele or Peele?
Peele.
You know Key and Peele? From the Key and Peele
like,
show?
Like Anthony Peele? You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that nigga on the Minnesota Timberwolves? You don't remember Anthony Peele when Kevin Garnett was on it?
Oh yeah,
I didn't watch basketball when Kevin Garnett was on the Timberwolves.
The big ticket.
Yeah, that was the
what?
The Trail Spree with Wally Server.
When I watched basketball, he was on the Celtics.
Bro, I remember when I was fucking living in Illinois, and then we moved to New Jersey, and then the Nets was going crazy. But then like they lost to the what was it, the Lakers or the Spurs? I think it was both of them niggas. I think they went to the finals. Yeah, they went to the finals, but I think it was against the Lakers.
I don't know. The Nets won a championship.
Nah,
they won one year with the Lakers.
With Kenyon Martin.
I don't think it was Jason Kidd.
That's what I'm saying. When Kenyon Martin and them, Kerry Fields, Richard Jefferson, them niggas went to the finals. Nigga, I was rooting for them niggas. My pops used to watch the Utah Jazz a lot too. That's how I knew about
Karl Malone
and John Stockton. That's
how
how
he took my table.
That's where I learned how to shit. Yeah. When I play basketball, I'm like, shit. If I can't shoot it, pass first, nigga. I'm John Stockton, nigga.
Oh yeah.
Jay-Z
Stockton was that dude though.
Facts, he did.
He said, "Fuck that, Brooklyn in the house."
Like, I had a favorite team just because they was from Jersey, and then Jay-Z was like, "Hey, look,
We're gonna take him to New York.
yeah. Yo, you know what else fucked up? When y'all think about it, all the New York teams play in New Jersey. Niggas don't know that, do they? Stadiums be in New Jersey, yo.
Right there on the borderline.
It's crazy, man. That is crazy.
I know.
That's it. I didn't know that shit. What's crazy is you would know what's even crazier.
What's crazier?
The Utah Jazz, how they've been facing that shit for years. The racism. You know how many years they've been facing that shit?
The actual players on the team.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Mormon country.
Yeah. That shit wild as hell. Like,
I can see it.
Yeah.
nah, nigga, you
Who
see.
would go to? Who would
Yeah,
go
it was
to-
all fucking. It's on IG. It's on. It's been on that. This was like 3 or 4 years ago where that shit got highlighted. It was somebody. Nah, it was like Russell Westbrook or something. They were like taunting him and shit.
Yeah.
Russell
Russell
was in
Westbrook
Utah.
got a lot of shit.
Who y'all favorite basketball player?
Of all
Shit.
time?
Well,
KD.
Growing up, like different eras. You mean like growing up and then when you were a teenager and then now being an adult.
because there's always a different favorite player, right?
KD. He'll be my favorite player.
Of all time.
Growing up,
I ain't watched basketball until like 2009.
fucking rookie.
KD my favorite basketball player.
Rookie of the year.
I see.
Rookie of the year.
There we go.
He is rookie of the
He
year.
is, yeah, he rookie of the year.
Nah, but shit, you say you start. Oh, when KD came in the game.
Yeah, when he started.
Yeah, bro.
My dad was a KD fan from he watched that nigga from college and shit like that. So then I wanted to start watching basketball, and that's who my dad watched. So I was like, fuck it, just so I watched. So OKC was my favorite team. It just happened to be that they was good.
Did you see him when he was on Texas?
Yeah.
That nigga was
He used to
wrong.
always
Bro, I
be
had
too
a whole
skinny and
book.
shit.
I
Yeah,
had a
they
whole
said that nigga couldn't
bro.
even lift the weight that he was putting, the 225.
Bro.
He had to go to like 170 or some shit.
I used to watch basketball so hard, right, that when I would get like NBA Live, right? Rest in peace to my cousin Tyree, aka Philly Fields. When I got NBA Live for PlayStation and shit, I would motherfucking create all the niggas, like the upcoming drafts and shit.
Yeah.
So back then, I saw mad niggas before they got into the game. Like when LeBron and Melo was coming in, it was wild because I had a whole I would literally let's say I'm going to the grocery store with somebody, I literally buy like the college player shit. You feel me? I'll buy the book of all the college players.
Yeah.
Who's the top teams? And I didn't even watch college basketball yet, but I wanted to see who was coming in so I could create these players and shit. You feel me? So motherfucking I seen like TJ Ford. You remember TJ Ford?
Oh yeah.
I seen TJ Ford, Kirk Heinrich, fucking who else was it? It was a lot of niggas and then I would see the section with the high school niggas, and then it was like OJ Mayo, fucking Josh Smith, you know what I'm saying? And they were still looking at him, but he was like lower in the rankings and shit. And that's when I said, oh shit, these niggas be going to camp and shit. These niggas be so this shit different. Like these niggas be going to camp, then this, then boom, then they get ranked. You know what I'm saying? And I was just creating all them players and shit. But LeBron, that's what fucked me up. LeBron and Melo. Like when I was like, you know what I'm saying? When fucking when them niggas was literally like coming up. Cause I remember watching Melo when they won the championship too. You know what I'm saying? That shit was wrong.
Yeah, Melo. When they came to the league, I liked Melo better than Bron. Like I thought
Melo was gonna be.
You watched Syracuse.
You
watched him in Syracuse.
You know Melo's gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy?
Syracuse.
You wanna know what's crazy? LeBron,
And LeBron.
bro, listen.
Melo.
They both did the same shit, and you want to know how crazy the universe was at this time?
What's that?
Melo went to the playoffs with the Nuggets his first year as a rookie, right?
Right.
LeBron did, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then the stats, LeBron was averaging 20.9. Guess how much Melo was averaging? 21.0, bro.
Word.
I remember this shit, and I was like, God damn, this shit gonna be a crazy rivalry, nigga.
Yeah,
Because I was like, how the
you
fuck this
expected it to be
nigga,
like,
how this nigga get Rookie of the Year
Yeah.
without, you know what I'm saying, really
Yeah.
go. But I remember his first game, though. Like, I remember LeBron's summer league games. Yo, this nigga was averaging 7. I remember that shit. He was averaging the whole shit 7. So when he came in the game, I remember I was like, yo, that's when the NBA Live shit came out. You know what I'm saying? And the first game of NBA Live, that's when I realized, oh shit, these games that they be having in real life, these really the games. That's and I was watching him against Sacramento and shit, and I seen this nigga, boom, and I was like, oh shit, and I was like, yo, this nigga gonna be a legend. I was like, it's over. He was on the not Melo, it was LeBron.
Yeah,
LeBron yammed on that nigga.
Okay.
LeBron yammed on the Sacramento Kings, and then he kept scoring. And then that night he got like 20, bro. And I said, yo. And I seen the stats for Melo because I was a Melo fan. So I was always, when LeBron did some shit, I'm talking, I'm like, yo, I got, you know. And then when he was doing more, I'm like, all right. You know what I'm saying? For real, bro.
LeBron definitely proved himself.
Yeah, that nigga never stopped either.
Yeah.
Bro,
that nigga still got 27 points.
That nigga did that shit the first game, bro. And then the nigga kept doing it, and then it was wild, right? Then he started averaging, he started getting like 14. But then it was crazy because then Melo would be boom, boom, boom. You start seeing games. You know this shit. You start seeing games where he started heating up, and then you like, damn. Then they both started heating up, and then it was like, nobody could really. That's when I was like, yeah, I can't predict how none of these niggas is about to be, bro. Like,
you know when Melo shined? In the Olympic Games.
Yeah, all the time.
Every time the Olympic Games came, he killed niggas.
He was an isolation threat all the time, and they hardly ever double.
I'm telling you though, when I seen that nigga LeBron yam the first game, and I was watching the game when he did that crazy, because he don't do that shit no more. He used to do a jump where he go like this. He did that shit, and I was like, yo.
Yeah, over time that'll break his back down.
I was like,
that
that shit. You know who did that shit that fucked
me
me up like that too? Stoudemire. When Stoudemire,
when
I was in Jersey, when I was in Jersey,
dunking all hard.
When I was in Jersey and shit, and this nigga got drafted, right? This nigga. Yo, I wasn't even watching him, bro. That's how I knew this nigga was crazy. Because I kept seeing somebody every single time in the Sports Center highlights when they doing the top 10. I kept seeing a random nigga from the Suns yamming on niggas. Like everybody.
I bet he caught more alleys than any nigga in the league, yo.
But he was yamming on niggas.
Yeah. I forgot that Steve Nash actually was my first favorite player.
But even without that, alleys, he was doing niggas. He did that shit on KG and shit. Once I seen that shit on the top 10 and shit, I was like, yo, who the fuck? And then it said he was a rookie.
You know who blocked this shit though that year he was yamming on everybody?
Who?
Tim Duncan.
Yo, I bet.
Hey, the shit was crazy because it was one of them little soft blocks like.
Yeah, that's how you do
shit. Like,
Duncan
got strong
always did
fingertips.
that shit.
That shit crazy.
He was like, Doom.
That was when Yao was out too.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah.
All that shit was going stupid.
You seen that game?
Man, Kobe is.
I was gonna say Kobe was my favorite, but I think overall, Sean Kemp was probably my favorite.
Sean Kemp?
Yeah, Sean Kemp was different. Like that passing forward, like he created the LeBrons. He the reason you got LeBron.
And Chris Webber on the whole.
Chris Webber was nice. Yeah,
Chris Webber was nice. I remember when they was against the Lakers in the playoffs.
I couldn't stand his ass. I could not stand
the Kings against the
that
shit was crazy.
Oh my god, bro!
But them niggas. But then when I got older, I got older, bro,
was good.
I was like, yeah, them niggas was
They
raw.
had D-Vox.
I was like, yeah, them niggas was raw as fuck.
I don't want to play this raw 2K.
I just didn't like certain niggas. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't stand
the Magic.
That Kings
the Magic, I ain't like their jerseys. Huh?
Which Magic?
With McGrady once them Jones with the stripes, bro.
Oh yeah.
Once them Jones with the stripes came out, them Adidas with the stripes, them T-Max. It's like, yo, This nigga going stupid, man. That's when Kobe had this shit that was like some space looking
Oh
shit.
yeah,
He had
ugly
Adidas
shoes
too.
at one point.
You know what I'm saying?
His shoes was ugly as hell.
Yeah, but
he had some
that's when
shoes
niggas,
too.
mad niggas had shoes, and then that's when like niggas was like giving like high school like the first man. I remember
AI had shoes.
Yeah,
Oh,
AI
had some
shit
dope
was
shoes
fire.
though. Yeah, them
AI
Grand
shit was
Hills.
fire.
Grand Hill had some dope shoes.
Vince
Jerry-
Carter too.
Jerry
Vince
Stackhouse-
Carter had the
Jerry
shots.
Stackhouse had some dope shoes.
What's your name had some very affordable shoes.
Shaq.
Stephon, Shaq, but Stephon Marbury too.
Yo, you said very affordable. Yo, you
Yeah,
crazy.
Stephon Marbury.
This nigga's crazy.
Stephon Marbury still got
He
the
said
shoes.
very affordable.
His shit's at
That nigga
Walmart.
had all different colors.
They
weights
the
and
new
shit.
Shaqs, but they was good back then. You used to fuck with the Marbury.
It was like,
Now
we got the same
everybody
shit as
at Walmart.
Jordan for $50. It's like, what? My dad was like, what, nigga?
Yeah, I got
Boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom.
Got you six
Marbury
of
was dope back then though. That nigga went overseas.
That nigga was
His shoes ain't
overseas.
worth shit.
That's what he was overseas. He wasn't doing that at that time.
It's just dribbling.
Nah, he had shoes in the league though.
Oh, he did when he was in the league.
The Marburys. Yeah, them shoes was hard. With the
I
star.
remember
the
he
three.
had his own shoe store and everything at this bitch.
Yeah.
Like the whole store.
What happened to
Was it
Lonzo
Starbury?
Marbury? The big baller brand.
Oh,
What
that
happened to
shit.
Lonzo? Them
No one ever bought one. Them shits was like $50,000.
Yo, you remember when that-
Oh,
shit was
you- for
stupid high. I forgot how much it was, but it was stupid high.
You remember when what's his name was gassing out Alonzo Mourning? Like that nigga was going up. He was doing stupid numbers.
Oh, yeah.
But
Alonzo
then that
Mourning
nigga
was
started gassing out.
Yeah.
It was like, damn.
But he had a kidney replacement.
Yeah, that's when he started gassing out.
That'd be the sad part. Like they said,
Yeah.
like Grant Hill was like busting niggas' ass.
Grant Hill was a beast.
Yeah.
It was like he was like the next Jordan. That's how they
and dude.
compared him.
Yo, Derrick
Yeah.
Rose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Derrick Rose.
yeah,
was
the knees.
a motherfucking.
Yo, because
monster.
people, it's crazy. That's why, like, when people started, like, talking bad about Derrick Rose, I was like, bro, don't y'all realize this nigga first got Rookie of the Year,
His first-
they got MVP.
On the first year. His first year. Been injured ever since.
Like,
Ever
which,
since.
like, what
And that
nigga,
nigga's
which
nasty
nigga
now.
did, which other
And was
nigga did that
dunking
shit?
on big
Jordan didn't even
sinners.
do that shit,
Yeah,
nigga.
yeah.
Derrick Rose had a
Nigga.
crazy.
And that nigga like he was like built for like point guard.
Yeah.
That nigga was like big, but he wasn't like crazy. He wasn't like
He
Westbrook.
just had quick
And
ass.
the nigga got,
He was
the
too
nigga
fast,
was
actually.
the one from Chicago, and he was really the one from Chicago.
Playing in
Right,
Chicago.
right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Really from Chicago, and you get like that. I don't be thinking that should be a coincidence with some niggas like fucking when certain niggas get drafted to where they actually from and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You know, he was just too fast for his body. His body couldn't.
Like
He
what
worked
else?
so hard.
It was just like when every
He
time
had
he
to carry a
stepped,
team too.
he was too quick.
Yeah.
His body didn't have.
It's
like,
small.
Bo Jackson.
It's hard for a small man to carry a team. Like, look how much Iverson got injured trying to carry that team.
and he little as hell.
Think
Small,
of the
bro.
think of the
But he was
teams.
dunking.
Think of the teams and like the drafts that you know that you probably watch. Like, what if that person got skipped? Like, what if the Pistons took Wade instead of fucking
Right.
Milicic?
Yo, you know that messed up story? Greg Oden. That was
Yeah.
Greg Oden.
Yeah,
Like he was
Yeah,
like
from
the best
Ohio.
college
Pick,
player
yeah.
from
From
Ohio.
Ohio.
Kid.
that nigga was the next big
Yeah.
thing.
He never played the first year. Came in the second year, played one game, I think. Got injured again, and like maybe played 2 games after that.
That's how Zion is really.
Yeah.
That nigga played like 42 games.
He just
in
got
the
a
last
he just
3
got a
years.
big contract though, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
and
just got a
still
huge
has not
contract.
hasn't played in like 2 years.
Yeah, he
Getting
got a
fat,
huge
man.
Getting
contract.
fat, getting 300.
Oh, he's
plus.
not playing right now.
He hasn't played.
That nigga
he,
eat
hasn't,
donuts.
he only played 42 games since he's been in the league. Out this bitch, or 80 games since he's been in the league. He's been in the league like 4 years.
Bro, they just gave him a healthy contract.
Yeah, that shit crazy. That nigga, but that nigga is so good when he in the game. He's like 69% overall.
Better hope he's working out over something.
I hope he will.
Trying to lose some weight or something.
Damn, I didn't even know that. I thought he was still.
Hell no. If he was doing some shit, you know. If he was in the league, everybody would know. Because Zion would be the face of the league. That nigga ain't doing shit.
You got Luka Doncic.
Luka.
So if you had all of them, so if you had, wait, you got 2K?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I need to get I gotta get a charger.
A charger for what?
The controller. They did.
Oh, you need that.
We're gonna do a 2K
Yeah,
tournament.
nigga regular. Oh, sure. We in this bitch in.
Yeah, nigga.
But they got like
You want to put money up?
Huh?
Don't say
You trying to get on 2K?
You want
Yeah,
to
nigga.
2K?
He
You know what I'm
said
saying?
too. Like he said,
Shit,
yeah,
I get on
said,
2K.
Nigga, we can do 2K, we can do FIFA.
Oh, I get on
We could do 2K.
Oh,
You trying to bet?
You said we could do 2K.
Yeah.
Shit, the FIFA shit, you might got me on
Shout
that
out to
shit.
Live.
I ain't betting money on that. How
Hey,
much
y'all
you
got a
want
question for Joel Venom on live? Drop your
Nah,
question in
don't
the
say
comments.
it. High number now.
I want to bet.
Bleep that one
Bet
out.
$5.
I want to
Bleep that part out.
I want to
man.
bet. That's funny. So what did you? So you was an artist first or a producer?
An artist.
Then a producer or a
Yeah.
videographer?
That,
Then
yeah.
videographer or engineer?
Damn, you just asked like 5 questions.
I know you got a lot of things that you do, dog.
I was an artist first, and then a producer. But I wouldn't say I'm a videographer. I'd say I'm a visionary. Because after the production shit, it's just like, all right, I wanted to do videography. I wanted to take pictures. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, get pictures taken of me. I wanted to do videos of other motherfuckers. I wanted motherfuckers to get up off their ass, hit me up to my, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I saw visions for shit, so it's like, it's a visionary. You know what I'm saying? I'm a visionary and shit.
What about the engineering?
That came with being an artist.
Okay,
'Cause
so
it
you
was
started
like-
engineering your stuff.
Yeah, because every time that I wanted to do shit, it was like I just wanted to do it myself. Like when I got this small ass Radio Shack mic and shit, bro, that joint
I
was
started off with a radio show.
yeah, that joint was
Computer
filthy.
mic,
Yeah.
That joint was filthy,
the
but
little small joint.
I found a little like you know what I'm saying. I put like a little like I put like my do rag on that shit and motherfucking on like a.
You made it like a pop
Make a
filter.
pop filter on that.
With a hanger. I bent the hanger
Yeah.
and put that joint in a circle and then I
Nice.
stretched that joint
Yeah.
around. And then it was just sitting there and shit. And then I had a Radio Shack mic, like, you know what I'm saying, right in front of that joint. Or whatever behind that joint. And shit. But then it was like, I was on Kool Aid Pro back then. Yeah.
Cool Edit.
Shout out to Cool Edit,
They
bro.
still make Cool Edit?
I don't
It's
fucking
Adobe
know.
now.
Yeah, it's Adobe.
Adobe Audition.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into Adobe.
Yeah.
But back then I was just doing that, and then over time I got a mic and shit, and then I just kept, since I was engineering myself, I kept engineering myself. I didn't really venture out to like record anybody else. It was more like, all right, if I'm with the homies and they're at my crib and I'm using my equipment, then yeah, I'll record them if they're doing a song or we're doing a song. But it's not like they were gonna do a song, meaning like I had my boy Nick Nemesis and shit, and he would record himself, so he would record a lot of music. My boy Adrian Black Spider at the time, you know what I'm saying? That was his name, Black Spider and shit, his rap name. But motherfucking, he didn't have his own equipment, but he had his like cousin, so we could go down the street to his cousin and record it. We wasn't really opening up the doors to like record people. We was just recording ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was. I was always engineering myself. But then when I started engineering other people, since I had engineered myself so much, I already knew how to like engineer. You know what I'm saying? Other people in a sense. You feel me? But then it was other stuff I had to learn because then it's like, all right, now I'm engineering other
You
people.
gotta change the
Now
voices.
I gotta
It's
learn
different voices.
Yeah, now I gotta learn motherfuckers and shit. So it's like when that came into play, that was kind of different. But then it helped because then it showed me like, all right, like it's a majority of this sound. It's a majority of this sound. It's less of this. Niggas is fucking with this. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers ain't fucking with that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit you learn when you like recording a lot of people. I'd say I probably recorded shit, bro. You been with me, bro. Like you been with me in the cut. Like I'm talking about Q. Like before this Crown shit, like been in the studio with me, like probably like a whole year. I'm talking about Q would come to the studio and in the cut all the time.
Yeah.
Like and I'd be like niggas
Every day
working
after work,
together.
Straight
Like
up Prince.
over like what did they say, like what is it, 10,000 hours or whatnot?
Mhm.
Shit, you probably had like 2 or 3 in that genre. You know what I'm saying? Just him coming there and us being there, you know what I'm saying? Shooting the shit or working it. But it's like that shit, over time, it becomes like second nature to you and shit.
Word. Facts.
Where you can just do it fast as hell.
And it's no matter who you recording to.
Yeah.
You know, to change it up.
But that's where everything though, like that's what I like. I learned like if you really love to do something and then you do it all the time, then it's gonna become second nature to you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can just do like, you know how there's niggas that could just do backflips like a motherfucker, like Cap T. That nigga, shout out Cap T.
That shit.
I want to get that nigga my music video at this bitch.
That's my nigga right there. You know what I'm saying? That nigga could do shit like that. He just do it. And it's like, nigga, you've been doing this shit for a long time, and he gonna tell you, yeah.
You know the thing that you
know what I'm saying?
You know the thing that you punch in the arcades and shit?
Yeah.
He did a spinning back flip kick on that bitch. I was like, what? Where? He's like, hold on, wait, I got it. Backed up a little bit. He said, boom. I was like,
crazy,
God,
bro. I'm telling you, bro.
Like Jackie Chan.
I'm telling you.
For real. That nigga got a whole video where he playing a song and he just working with his nunchucks.
Yeah,
going crazy.
He
going all the way around. That shit crazy.
Bro. He be on that type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why he be peaceful and shit.
Yeah, that's really why.
Really, it's like you do anything and you just keep doing it, then you'll be straight. Like you just gotta be consistent with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you gotta that 10,000 hours. That shit is vital.
Right. Put that time in. That's facts.
But you can't focus on the time. You gotta put the time in, but can't focus on it.
Right. Yeah. You can't be like, I'm trying to let me get to 10,000.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I gotta do this. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be, like, making music is a sacred thing, man. So it's like, it's nothing that should feel forced.
Yeah,
you gotta love it.
Yeah, like,
real,
nothing, once it starts feeling forced and shit, that's when it's like, nah, that shit is not for anybody, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If anything feels forced, it's not good. So it's like, it has to be like that. Once you can tell, like that would be one of the hard problems with engineering. Well, not problems, but it's like, if you really love music, like some people will be like, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like that.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Where like they'll be, I need to get this done, and then you looking like, nigga, you probably won't even rap next year, nigga.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna give this shit up. But then it's like, that's cool though. You probably like want to be, you know what I'm saying, want to do something else.
Yeah,
like, you probably.
That ain't for everybody.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You can find a lot of things doing things.
But then it's like,
right.
Sometimes I'll be looking at shit like, alright, well, you did that. You stressed out Ronnie and James or whoever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't rap. So now when you treated Ronnie and James like shit that was with you, they both know, since they your homies, that you're not rapping now. So it's like, what the fuck? You telling them you couldn't be at the session, dog? Shit like that. Now you're not having those sessions, nigga. So it's like, why'd you even do that shit during the period? Like, you don't know, but it's cool.
Because y'all supporting me.
It's an experience though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's an experience. So it's like, I know what niggas are talking about, because when you got to think, when niggas, like, you could be telling niggas, like, niggas could be telling you some shit like, oh yeah, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, alright, Cap T, you know what I'm saying? He do that martial arts shit, for real, for real. I used to do that shit. So to someone that really does it, that's like, oh, I did it for a hobby. You feel me? So I can understand that. Now, he doesn't say that, but I'm just saying that as an example. You feel me? So it's like, I be understanding that shit like, all right, maybe that wasn't for you, because there's a lot of things that wasn't for me. Like, I used to go to drum lessons, and then I'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why the fuck am I sitting in front of a drum? I just like the sound of drums. That's why when I make beats, my drums, like, I go crazy with them shits. But it's like,
I don't want to sit with the drums.
Yeah, but I told my pops that when I was young, like, and he was like, you want to go to drum lessons? So we went to that shit, but it was like, he knew what I was talking about, but then it was like, it was okay when I didn't want to continue it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't no force type shit.
Because it wasn't what you thought it was going to be.
You weren't looking for that.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for that. Like,
young,
I wasn't looking for the instrumentation.
Yeah, you don't know exactly
like,
what
I
you're
know there's
to...
some people, I know there's a lot of people that like and love instrumentation, but with me, it was like I didn't know how to really express at that, and that's what I remember. That's how I know I was like meant for this shit, like to produce and do other shit besides rapping. Because if I did that shit back then, and I was like, yo, I want to go to drumming lessons, and then I don't drum, but then when everybody talks about my beats, I've had niggas be like, yo, your drums go hard. Like, mainly telling me that part. I always think about that shit. Like, I knew that I love drums. Like, the sound of drums, I knew that that's, like, a key part to the way the beat is going to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain genres, you know the pattern of the drums that it's going to be on.
True.
You know what I'm saying? R&B, the pattern ain't going to be boom, it's not going to be you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's drums, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like every certain genre has different genre.
Drums control it.
You feel me?
Control the direction of the song.
Yeah. Right.
Because that's what, like, when you listen to a song, when artists be picking a song, I be watching some artists pick people beats, and they be like, they'll listen to it and they bobbing their head at the beginning, and then it's a hit or miss right at the bass line.
As soon as the drums come in, you be like, oh man, you killed it.
You like, damn, that shit hard. And you like, next. Next.
Yeah.
Okay.
You killed me with them hats. For real though.
Yeah, that happens. But
Yeah.
that'd be hard.
That'd be the thing. I remember I was talking to a producer, and I was like, you know, if you just try to, switch the bass line. Because he was like, they keep popping their head, but when at a certain part, they're like, no. And I was like, it's the bass, right? When they hit every time, it was like, not even me. Like, sometimes I even liked it, but I could see, like, right when the bass hit, that demeanor changed.
Yeah. So the drums came in, you like, bro, you
hell yeah, like,
and that'd be hard because it's like, with me, it's like, I don't think like, even when I didn't do the right shit, like, it's crazy, bro. I can have it, and it's not no disrespect, but it's like, it could be anybody, bro, while I'm making the beat, and they could be like, yeah, man, you should, bro, I'm not doing shit. I'm doing what I'm doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it's one of them things where it's like, all right, I'm gonna take heed.
I hear you,
but it's like, I'm in the zone.
Yeah,
you know
I already know what I'm going for.
Yeah,
you don't even hear where I'm going yet. Let me
and
get what I'm doing first.
Yeah, it's not even no disrespect. That's why, like, a lot there'll be times where I'll say something to somebody or I won't say something, like while they creating this shit, because it's like, I've been there where, like, I've done some whack ass shit, and then, like, I didn't hear nothing from nobody. Like, nigga, if you don't hear something from somebody when you make some whack ass shit and you know it's whack, but you just want somebody to listen to like a beat and shit,
like, y'all
and then they don't, exactly. So that's worse. So I was like, nah, nigga, I'm going back to the drawing board and I'm making a whole fucking painting, nigga. I'm finna be Picasso in this motherfucking nigga. I'm not even gonna listen to nobody. I'm just gonna work, nigga. Like,
one of my homeboys told me when I was making music, when I first started making music, he would always tell me my shit hard, right? Then there was certain part of it, there was probably like after like the first 2 years, he was like, Quinn, let me tell you something. At first, that shit wasn't all that. But now, nigga, that shit is hard as a motherfucker. I'm like, nigga, you been telling me I was hard the whole time. I was like, yeah, I ain't want to kill your confidence. Because I felt like he was going somewhere, but you won't there yet. But now, nigga, that shit hard. That shit hard. I was like, damn, I don't even appreciate it, I guess.
Yeah. You said you appreciate it?
Yeah, because I'm like, should I have trusted you? I don't even know when to trust you now. Because the whole time you were saying it was hard.
That might be some good criticism.
Yeah, it is.
I guess just like he was saying, maybe he just didn't say nothing and allowed you to let your juices flow. You know what I'm saying? Let you do what you wanted to do. And then it came out to be.
Man, that nigga Q don't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Man, he might have been giving some good criticism.
Q was confused. What's that nigga
said?
That nigga don't know what the fuck. You still rolling that nigga to this day?
I was like, huh?
You still rolling that?
That's my little nigga.
You still confused about it. You probably still confused about that shit.
He probably felt like he couldn't give you no constructive advice, so.
Yeah, he didn't know what to say, so he didn't say nothing. And he was like, it won't like it was trash. It was just like if
he knew he was going with.
Looking at it now, it's like He said like going back to the song.
Yo,
Listen
that's
to this and then going back
I'd
to
rather
the
a
song.
nigga.
Like,
I'd rather it
nah.
be the shit that happened with me. Like,
Well,
don't
nobody
even
said
tell me
that.
that shit.
Don't
Like,
say
don't
shit.
even say, yo, but now? Because I would be like, nigga, what the? I'm gonna have the same reaction as him. Like, nigga, why is you put the but now?
But yeah, so it was trash at first.
So it was garbage, huh?
I played my shit for one of my partners. This nigga was like, nigga, this shit, you let somebody hear this? I'm like, nigga, this is trash. Like, don't let nobody else hear this shit. I'm like, oh, shit. Damn.
Shit's crazy.
You know what I be hating? When
And we don't get enough of that though. We need
Nah,
people
really,
to tell us that though.
But
To be
but
real-
niggas don't even know how to communicate these days.
We have
Shit,
people.
because
We have people that be like, "Yo, that shit hard."
I've had niggas be
every
like,
time you play
Every
something,
time.
and they don't never give you no criticism.
Have you ever got, yo, didn't you play that joint the other day? It's like, nigga, I just
That's
recorded
what
this.
it is.
Right.
It's like,
2
oh,
hours
yeah,
ago.
yeah. So all my
Nigga, you
shit-
ain't listening to shit.
Oh,
ain't nobody heard
You
this.
fucking lying.
I ain't even heard it yet.
Look like, oh yeah, I remember this.
I'm like, you recorded this shit last night, nigga. I
I
haven't
ain't
talked
even
to you in
listened
2
to it yet.
weeks, nigga.
This is my
I
first
haven't
time
seen you in
listening
2
to it.
weeks.
Right.
I didn't put this joint out.
I didn't talk
What
to
the
you. I
fuck
didn't
you
text
talking
you.
about, bro?
Nothing.
But you sit there like this.
But you leaked it.
Like, that's how I be looking at niggas like, where and what? Nah. But then I be like, what the?
But in
I
your
leave,
mind-
the, I leave the
no,
shit.
but you still, you like, yeah, just listen though.
But I leave the scene after that like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
This nigga's cat.
This nigga's not.
It's not even that.
not
I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? Because then that shit, once the first time that shit happened to me, I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then it kept happening. So I was like, all right, that's gotta be a thing when you nice at what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all have experienced that, right?
Yeah,
so that means when you nice at what you do. But that shit's just weird too. Because it's like, for the, yo, you played that last week?
You should try to cut me off.
Let this shit hard.
God damn.
Some niggas just send your lyrics back. Like,
Yeah,
you
man.
send your lyrics back. Like, bro, when you said, I'm like, all right, I could
Yeah.
respect that.
You understand.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know you listen.
Yeah,
You
when it
actually
be
heard it.
off, but it be like close to
Be
what?
close though.
It
It
be
close.
like, yeah, nigga, you was
You
listening.
was listening.
At least you listen.
Yeah,
At least you listen.
It was kind of there.
Yeah, I
But
appreciate
it'd be
that.
funny when a nigga be hype about a line and he say it totally wrong. It's like, when you said that, bro? And you're like, say
not
you
what I
like,
meant.
word.
Nah, when I
You
said
know?
Yeah.
they're like, oh,
Talking about
he
what
could
I
have meant
said.
the same thing.
Do you correct? Do you correct him? Or you be like,
I don't correct him, bro. I appreciate it, bro. Because think about it, bro. With a nigga, like, bro, I've done it, bro. Like, I did it on my birthday to a couple people, bro. It was like certain people, and I wasn't being rude. I was just like, yo, my birthday was yesterday, though, bro. Appreciate it, right? So, but then my mom was like, yeah, when you say that to people, that's rude as hell. And I was like, nah, I don't think it's rude, you know what I'm saying? But then when I did it, that shit was rude. So now when I think about like telling people like, nah, that ain't the line, bro, but appreciate it. Bro. That shit, now I think like that shit be fucked up, bro.
Yeah, because they tried. They came to you with all their heart. Like try to impress you. To let you know they listen to you. I listen to your shit, bro. You be like, no, that's not what I said.
You like, you know what? She called me daddy,
Yeah,
but she
that
know
is
her
kinda
daddy.
I
rude.
had a nigga one
That is
time
kinda rude.
ask me about this one song. Like, one time it was one of my niggas. No, it wasn't one of my niggas. It was this one random nigga, bro. And he was like, yo, ain't you produced this one song? And I was like, I looked that shit up. I looked that song up, right? Because when your beats be floating around like that,
He was like, maybe I did.
Maybe I did.
So I looked that John up. And then I'm listening and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh no. This ain't my John. You feel me? So I hit the nigga back and I'm like, oh no, this ain't mine. He's like, word. But then I'm like, damn, that nigga probably feels like you said. But I'm like, I wasn't trying to
So
be
what
no
you
asshole.
ain't gonna go tell them?
Yo,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say who it was. Remember, I told you before, but I ain't gonna say no names. It was an artist, bro. Then I remember I told you this shit.
Go ahead.
It was an artist that told me, right? It was like, yeah, I got like 2 of your beats on the album.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah.
Don't say it.
That's crazy.
And then I was like, word. And they were like, yeah, my album dropping in like 2 days. And I was like, all right, bet. And the album come out. I listened to the shit. I'm like, man.
It's like, with my beats.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Why the fuck would
nigga,
you
you
even
must be
say?
out your goddamn mind to actually know my beats ain't on this shit. But like, what the?
Yeah, that's
I'm
crazy.
like,
I was just about to ask you, have you
that's
ever
a
had
great
an
market.
artist
That's a great
that
market
put a
right
song
there.
out and was like produced by Joel Venom?
And then
I'm talking about tagging you and everything.
But this that does happen. But then sometimes, like when you're an engineer, a lot of times you gotta double back to check that because that's probably a song you engineered, and the artist is giving you credit, but he
don't understand.
But
Facts, okay.
he
I used
should
to
have
do
put
that.
mix. He should have put
I
mix
used to do
by.
that.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
used
So that's happened before, like you
There's
know
a
what I'm
lot of
saying.
That's fact.
But-
You used to do that to me. Like I do a song, they be like mixed by, produced by Crownchaz. I'm like, alright,
Yeah,
Because people don't know the difference.
yeah,
A lot of people don't know the difference between the engineer and the producer.
yeah.
They got to beat off YouTube.
I mean, but there's many type of producers though.
yeah,
you know,
it is.
P Diddy
That's an
stand
artist
behind it.
producer, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You producing the lyrics?
Yeah.
It's weird, actually. It's too much. Too much.
Yeah, they be like arrangers. It's like different arrangers.
Composers.
Yeah, arrangers got a big job because they're arranging everything.
Facts. They creating the song.
I think that's probably what Diddy.
Hey,
you know,
shout out to
yeah,
Just
the
Joking
arranging,
Jack.
Like the whole,
That's exactly what
Yeah.
What's that, G?
you said what?
Just joking, Jack.
Oh, well, that's my name.
He
That's
said he
in the
fuck with the
hard.
music. He said he might fuck up a bar or 3, but he still fuck with the music.
Oh yeah, it'd be like that.
Dun,
Man.
dun,
It
dun,
definitely
dun,
be
dun.
like that, man.
dun, dun.
That be, when people be doing that though, I don't feel no type of way though. I just accept that shit. It's always a blessing when somebody knows your shit, man.
Diamonds flashing. Girls going wild as static.
That's the simplest
She
song.
called me
done.
dad.
She don't know her daddy.
You know what I'm saying?
They smoking red.
It's cool. I'm still.
Yeah, they smoking red.
How
Yeah.
you love it? You trying to make it do that?
No, I was thinking, nah, nigga, cause see, when I be looking at niggas and I be like, when they be saying lines too, niggas gotta remember, I be smoking, so sometimes I don't remember what I said.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking, I'm like, wait, hold on,
What
am
did
I
I
am
say?
thinking? But then if I really did say that shit, I'm like, oh no, this nigga's true.
See, that be the
You
shit
know
when you
what I'm
on
saying?
stage and
Yeah,
people
but
trying to rap the lyrics with you. I'm just like, hold on, bro.
That's not it.
Wait a second.
Not it.
Let me get through this first. So I'm gonna start saying
I
what
remember
you
one time I started
said.
off a song and niggas started rapping trust issues. Like
I think I was a part of that problem. I think I was a part of that
I
problem.
mean, loud as hell. I just let niggas ride with it until the part was over with. Like, fuck it.
You said they said trust.
You know how trust issues, like, it feel like it start off with a hook, bro. I be
Yeah.
like, I got a temper. I got to
Yeah,
spit for
yeah.
no reason. But people
We
feel
went
like
all the way
it's like,
to, what is that? Woke up to a bill and I ain't read it.
yeah, like niggas went straight to the hook. As soon as the beat came on, niggas was like, I can't even think what
Went
the
straight
line
to that part.
Went straight to the motherfucking hook. And I was like,
You gotta
I
check
mean,
on
loud.
it.
And I'm rapping my shit, but they going so loud. I'm just like,
Niggas trying to rush you to that
I just
part.
let them niggas go with that shit. And then picked up. I said the exact same shit they just said when it was that time, because it was that time to say that part. That's when niggas got it like, oh! And still some of that shit. I used to wake up to it. Fuck it.
That's crazy. Think about if your hype man doing that shit.
Well,
That's
that
my
shit
hype man
old,
did do that
man.
shit. Venom probably was out there with me like shit. Fuck it.
Yeah, that do be happening, man. It be fucked up when
That's why rehearsals are key.
yeah,
The
yeah,
rehearsals
is
are
really
key, bro. Even with your hype, man.
yeah, that is, yeah. Because that shit, yeah, that's true. I'm not about to say nothing.
Yeah, we gotta get on them.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's been plenty of time niggas got up there. I went on stage drunk as fuck. It's a song I rap all the time.
Forgot that shit.
Rap the, you know how like you do a mix where it's like now I'm going like the first verse and after that I don't do that verse no more. I go into another song. So I've been doing that shit so long. It's like when the beat kept playing and it ain't go to another song. I was just lost. I just didn't know my song no more. I didn't know what to do. So I just sat there like,
He was like,
hey, that's happened, man. That happened to me in a battle, bro.
Shit.
On stage.
Ah,
I wrote
damn.
3 rounds, bro. And it was against my homie Reese. And at this time, just like I said with my man Boss at Fenarios with open mic night, he made it to where like, cause he started battling around like Philly. You feel me? And when he did that shit,
Oh no.
we got a special guest who came in to the podcast.
motherfucking, what's it called? So motherfucking, right? What was I talking about?
man.
I'm never good at this.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna be for real.
Bro,
Never good at
It's
this.
fucked up.
You asked some questions.
it's supposed to be a team. We supposed
It
to
is
be
a
a team.
team effort.
It's a team effort.
I got to focus in on who was that.
What was I talking about last before that? Or what were we
I remember we was talking about like
bro.
people who ain't say the words right. I remember we said that, and then after that.
But then what about after that?
So tell me about life in PA.
Life in PA?
Yeah, how was life in PA before this?
It was fire, but it's like, since it's up top, it's fast, bro.
Fast paced.
Fast paced, but it's like, where I was at was Chester County. So it's like, Chester County is like, Westchester, Chester, downtown, Thorndale, Lancaster, Coatesville, I said Westchester, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Westchester and Chester.
It's a couple more places, man. But that's like mainly
That's the neighborhoods, or is that the cities?
that's the cities and shit. I'm from the 610, cause I was like, that's where we were stationed at, the 610, Chester County and shit. Like Asher Rowe, he's from Westchester.
Asher Rowe.
Shout out Asher
You know what I'm
Ross.
saying?
That's
But
the
I'm
city
not
line.
from Westchester. I'm from Chester County, so that area. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
I was from well, I maintained my time, like being around my niggas and doing what I did. I was in downtown. You feel me? Which is in the 610.
How far is that from Philly?
Shit, that's like 25 minutes.
Word.
Yeah, and then we like probably an hour away from Jersey, so we get on the turnpike and do our thing.
Shout out to Jersey.
You know what I'm saying? And right where we were at, it's like
973.
you just get right on the turnpike. You feel me? And then when you come back, you get right off that bitch, right back home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Going around
For real.
For real though, that turnpike a long drive, dog.
Mm-hmm.
I drove it once.
Especially when you drive from down here,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from down here.
Yeah.
going that turnpike. That's majority of your trip because it's like you, damn, I'm here, bro. But why are you getting there?
But why ain't
Like,
they
we going to
getting
Newark.
Mm.
That take a while, bro.
Yeah, it was fire. It was fire. Like it was fire, but it's like in Pennsylvania, it's like
What's the stuff you got into? What's the
we ain't gonna talk
things?
about that.
Nah,
Shit that you can say on camera.
The things you can't say on yeah.
When it comes to music and shit, like that shit was fire. But the only thing that me and alright, so I started Deep Inc. in Pennsylvania. Started Deep Inc. and it was me and my man Easy Free, and when we were in graphic, what is it? Art and design and graphic design?
Graphic design.
In high school and shit. Yeah, we were in that class and shit. So we was in that shit and we was like, the nigga showing us how to make business cards, and then they had a room where it's like you can put the pictures in the negative room or some shit. Yeah, shit like that, like the whole shebang, like everything. So I was thinking of names and shit, and at this time, like Grind Time and all this shit came out, all this crazy shit. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make Deefa King. And then as time went on, I was like, all right, it's just gonna be Deefa King Entertainment. But that's when I started getting people in it. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing it like cause there was a time, like I don't know what it is. It's like when I was growing up, when I would see like labels and shit, it was like when I finally was able to get a mic, able to record, it was like I always had like a name for something. Like, okay, this label, like, oh, this is gonna be this, or like, you know what I'm saying, or like, this is gonna be like this. If it's videography, I'm gonna have this type of name for this, because I was seeing shit like that and I was getting inspired by it. So I was just like, yo, I would love to be able to get to a point where I could actually do that shit. You feel me? So I started that shit in PA, and then mainly a lot of my friends that I was around was in D4K. But then it was like artists, and then it was like mad niggas besides artists. It was like probably, alright, it was mad niggas that was in D4K, like mad niggas. So it was like the shit would change. And it was funny because like looking at like how G Unit was, you know how G Unit would have certain niggas and then it would change.
It always happened like that though.
That's how it was with D4K at certain times and shit. But it wouldn't be because like niggas didn't like certain niggas. It would be like, alright, you ain't really doing the bare minimum as far as like trying to do music and shit or whatever the fuck, or you not even coming around like that. But then it would be like also be affiliates and shit, like niggas that ain't, niggas that ain't really, that don't rap, but they from the block though, like, or they from around, they from J-Town and shit, like they from J-Town, so they D4K and shit, cause they, you know what I'm saying, blood with this nigga, you know what I'm saying, or not this nigga, one of my main homies and shit, like, you know what I'm saying, so it'd be just a lot of people. So when it would be shows, that was like one of the first times in my life that when we would do shows and all our people came out, I would see how thick, like how thick the whole crowd would be. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole crowd would be thick as hell. You know what I'm saying? The whole entire shit. You know what I'm saying? It would be like other people, but then it's different when you see like all your people actually pull up, like, you know what I'm saying? Not all your people, but like, oh shit, nigga from the block, the white people pulled up. My white motherfucker pulled up. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that, like hits you different. It's like, oh shit, motherfuckers really chose to come out and shit, and then that kept being consistent and shit. But then it was like fucking a lot of different times and shit. Since it's like PA, it's a lot of shit is fast. So like you do run into conflict just being an artist, like, and it's different. Like, I wouldn't say like being over here is like being over here is like the local shit is more like, it's not super confrontational, but it's like a lot of it's opinionated. And PA at the time when I was in there, a lot of that local shit was cool, but it's like, nigga, you say something and the nigga gonna run down on you and shit. So it was like when people were saying shit to me, it was like, alright, or anybody, it's like, yeah, you making a diss back to this nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you see this nigga, you gotta get active and shit. So that's what I was doing when niggas was dissing me and shit. Not saying doing like no tough guy shit, but it was like, that's how it was in PA. It's like, you diss this nigga, you gotta
ready for what come with it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the nigga might not think you gonna shoot him or whatever, but you be on point and shit, cause it's like, it was a form of disrespect because you're getting dissed.
Especially when niggas say
that's what diss comes from.
Some crazy
a shorter term for disrespect. Like, so it's when somebody was dissing you back then, it's like, oh, all right. And then you looking up to certain niggas, like, you looking up to, back then, I'm looking up to certain niggas, I ain't gonna lie. So it's like, nigga, these niggas ain't bitching out, nigga, and I know I ain't no bitch, so, nigga, you diss me, you know what I'm saying? Stupid shit. But that's what it was at the time. And then that's how it was with the battle shit. Like, people was always battling and shit. Like, niggas would be coming from Philly to come to fucking niggas. Them niggas would go everywhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when niggas meet me and I be like, yeah, I'm from PA and shit. Oh, you from Philly? Like, nah, I'm not from Philly. Like, I'm from PA. I was born in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. Like, I didn't live there. I moved my whole life. Like, I was born there. Then at a certain point in time, my family moved to Levittown, then Delaware, then motherfucking New Jersey, then motherfucking Illinois, then New Jersey again, then Pennsylvania, then North Carolina.
Yeah.
You feel me? Well, I left out Maryland, but that was before Delaware.
You had to adapt in a lot of places.
Right.
But I really
Coast.
grew up in Pennsylvania, Illinois, and
Midwest.
now North Carolina.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I came here when I was like, what was it, 22 or 23? Yeah, 23.
We gonna give you age out.
See.
Back then when that happened.
Oh, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. We done learned a whole lot about them today on EveryDaZeAPodcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You still ain't heard no beats.
Oh,
We gonna need
You
some
want
of
me
these
to,
dogs.
Hell yeah, before you slide from us, man.
Every day's a podcast.
this shit tough too.
He stepped in the room.
Shit, keep it going.
Come on, dog.
I'm about to play a different one.
Shout out Joel Venom.
Shout out.
Joel Venom on everything, right?
We ain't even mentioned
Yes.
nominated
Whoa,
for
wait,
CMA.
no.
Nominated for a CNA.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, we got claps now.
Yeah.
Sick class?
Yeah,
The clap machine.
This nigga. Oh, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you said you were
So you got some real shit. He thought like he about to go hard with it. He was ready. I was waiting on this.
Transform myself to be. I'm getting around the dimension. Ain't playing no games, can't talk, you know that sin. Ain't playing no games, you know that shit. You see this nigga this point. Where you get that shit? I need that bass for bass. What you gonna say? I'm gonna for 8. I ain't gonna play, yeah. I'm gonna fake. I beat on my chest with it. Ain't playing no games, I'm sex with it. What you saying? No damn, no stress with it. Ain't playing no games, no less with it. What you saying? I'm feeling real good in this bitch. This everyday podcast, nigga. What you say? We broadcast, nigga.
Every day's a podcast. Every day's a podcast.
Shit! Podcast! Go!
That nigga Q was the fuck in, didn't he? I don't even want to rap. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna embarrass myself out this bitch.
Oh, man. I embarrass myself on a daily, dog.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Rookie of the year, man. My embarrassment is over.
I feel like Jay on
You gonna have your chance.
He
Every day's a podcast.
Nigga putting that work
Kept that going, that big
That
hard.
shit sound stupid right here though.
Everything he plays out.
That nigga said,
He was like, that's my other shit. Hold on, wait.
I can't hear that one.
hold on.
You can't hear that one. Somebody drop that one.
I know that was yours right there. I heard you. I heard you on it.
What?
On that last beat. Hell yeah.
That boy make his own beats.
Record himself. Hey look, we be queuing this bitch freestyle and shit. This nigga Venom though.
Oh yeah.
Come on, man.
This nigga stupid.
I haven't freestyled a long ass time.
Long ass time is probably only 2 weeks.
The main girl, she like the week. I got that song going to the front door. I don't care because y'all niggas, y'all where's going. I don't know where's going. It don't matter. I get this shit straight on like a guitar. The rest of you niggas know I'm in charge. But I have to everything that I do. Shit, yeah, it's a rap. Shit, I'm ahead of y'all niggas like everybody. You know what I'm saying, though. How up, super saiyan, though. What the fuck niggas always get played like a ukulele, though.
They getting paid like Luke and Luke. I can't even say the word. I said Luke and ladies on this bitch. Say the word.
This nigga said it's a rap. Like
Right, if I do, right?
you know what I'm saying though. That shit hit though. Like I see what you were saying though, like when you were saying how niggas down. We talking about the damn drums and the bass.
Yeah, because that bass hit, that's
Shit is crazy.
That changed the game if you were doing it right.
That's the shit I be loving. This shit is I got a beat called Crazy Legs, man.
crazy legs.
Yeah. You know the nigga.
The nigga crazy legs.
Yeah.
The nigga
Go ahead, man.
That's why it's Crazy Legs type shit. Yeah, West Coast type shit. West Coast Detroit type shit.
I think we like I said, Joel Venom in this motherfucker. Big facts.
I got the Venom.
I got the Venom like That's crazy. It's because I already rap all the time, okay? So I ain't trying to just overload these niggas with everything, but I can if I got to.
Let me hear it.
It's your turn.
Nigga, huh?
Huh?
Nigga nigga who ain't rapping gonna tell a nigga. My bad, G.
Hold on, what you want to go on?
Huh?
What type of beat
You can get on everything with no fuck. I don't play that, I'm gonna get the binges up. What you say, nigga, go and get the shit I'm rich for. I ain't playing games, you know that shit I've been giving up. I'ma go and get the shit, she poppin', love the way that she be moving. And then on the shit, she know that shit, she love the way she do it. Yeah, get it for you, bro. I ain't playing games, yeah, I get it for the Lord.
What you got next? What you got next? What you got next for me?
Hey, get this nigga a posse bar. Get this nigga a posse shit.
Go bar for bar. Everybody gotta spit 2 bars.
Y'all are missing out, dog. Y'all are missing out. By the time y'all see this, it might be bought up. You don't know. Y'all might want to hurry up.
I almost wanted that one. That's like,
It will be.
That shit wild.
When the shit drop for real, when you hear it drop, listen to this shit. Listen. Hold on. That's a hit on rip. That's a hit on rip. This an old beat too.
Dude, that shit hard. Dude, that shit real. What you gonna say when I pop on this hoe? I ain't gonna play no games. I'ma go ill. I'ma go hook and go get this deal. We be on rapping, right shit on the beat. I ain't playing games, yeah, you know that shit weak. I don't know what to say, yeah, you know that shit sweet. When I did it all week.
hey, send me that one.
Yeah,
Send me that one.
Send me that one.
he ain't waste no time.
I like that.
Yeah,
I'm working on the album right now, man. I need a better beat, bro. On everything.
What's he gonna say? He on nigga that's hard. I ain't playing games, y'all nigga not Ataris. I'ma go ahead and get this shit
I
on
get
the
a
card.
feature on that bitch.
You had a hook now.
That's hard.
I like that shit.
That shit crazy.
I ain't stop no games, I know this shit.
I like that.
You say no to me, no for giving no sorry. That's no me. Ain't playing no game, that you got told me. But this shit, you know that shit, I know it hold me. Would you say you know that shit be told me? Would you say you know that told me? I ain't playing, man, I'm rocking like a pony. Would you say your nigga popping like a Tony? I'ma go ahead and get this shit popping right up on me.
Yeah, I need that. I need that.
You got in your little pocket for a second, then you cute.
Good, a little
Yeah,
bit.
that shit cute. You see that, babe?
Shout out Venom.
Nigga, what this shit sound like? I don't know why I put
What it
on
sound
West
like?
Coast, but it really sounds
What
like
that was?
Zero.
It don't work.
That Texas shit.
That shit bad. That shit don't work. It's bad.
Sound like the
Yeah, it don't work.
Nah,
Bad shit.
You know what I'm saying? That
Shit
shit.
bad. Love the way that she twerk.
I can imagine tripping on that
That's
sound.
out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Triple kill that
I'ma
shit.
get it like the 31st.
Yeah.
What you saying when I rock in the verse? I can't find what the fuck I need. Where is that? Yeah, pass me the weed. I ain't playing games, you see that shit. Yeah, you know that shit, we been in this bitch. I'ma go ahead and kick like soccer team.
Oh, hey, that was just a
That's
vibe
right,
right
two
there,
big
bro.
girls with y'all.
That's a motherfucking vibe right there, bro. Shit, let that rock. He got too many beats.
He got way too many bangers. Everything. This is what we
That
talking
last
about. This is the
vibe,
exact
bro.
opposite of what we were saying, dog. What we were saying, and niggas hear that shit and they be like, damn, this is the exact opposite. Everyone's like,
God, me, not again.
ooh, pop it.
Nigga, what? And I got niggas on the West too. Niggas probably like, no, I'm saying, Yeah.
That shit cold. What you been up to, man? Should've jumped on the camera. Got 300 in the building. 300.
Won't be a vibe, man. I'm watching the show. I'm part of the audience.
Shout out to the audience, guys. Shout out to the people,
audience.
guys. Let's go.
We got claps in the building. Y'all hear that shit?
They make this thing operational.
Then on my chest, nigga. Yeah.
Like with Rap City, I just walked in.
You should hear the bell from the inside.
I know, y'all probably like, what the fuck?
Hell yeah.
Nah, that shit dope too though. When the bell rings, like somebody coming in, that shit dope.
Hunting on that figure, nigga. Falling right for a million. Trying to get it, we got buildings, yes, sir.
Oh, he playing songs now. It's over. Oh, what is unreleased? Exclusive.
Oh, exclusive.
Very exclusive. Right there. With your hoodie on. Called what? Step. Produced by you? You produced it? Produced by Shark. That shit cold. this shit forever if my mama ain't gonna live forever. Man, I made this shit happen, bro. That's hard.
Yeah, that's just like a general statement, like, because like whoever you love is not gonna live forever in the physical, but it's like you gotta love what you do.
You gotta make it happen right now.
Yeah, make it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm saying probably gonna play like
That's
one more.
Oh, you got another exclusive for?
We got exclusive
man.
Joel
EveryDaZeA
Venom.
Podcast.
Every day's a podcast.
I
Said he ain't been released yet.
Shit, man.
That's crazy.
Come on now.
I gotta get on the remix.
You out here setting the bar
Yo,
for
what?
every person.
Hold on,
Yeah,
man.
for real.
Yeah, I'm about to play some shit.
It's the
bro.
first guest we had on.
And he
EveryDaZeA
playing
Podcast.
beats. He playing his songs. What y'all gonna be doing?
You could turn that John up a little bit.
Turn it up a little
Like
bit.
one more.
I got you.
I hit you with a hear this shit.
I hit you with a notch real quick.
This John featuring. Well, I'm gonna ask y'all who y'all think is on this track.
We got
Oh, we doing it.
guest before, or we got a listening guest.
Shit, we ain't even gonna get it. We gonna let y'all guess. We gonna give out a prize to whoever can figure it out.
Yeah, just listen to this shit. Yeah, just listen.
Too many times, too many lies. Who's in my mind? What to decide? You pick the side, fooling each guy. You can't erase them ties. You said you wanted, I got my money's worth. That thing hypnotic, it make my body burst. Let's go, I'll keep my girl. Matter of fact, that's not gonna work. Like, tell me what's up, I'm Martin first. I'm Martin first, let's go. And she don't need no help, she don't need no even cheap, but don't give up. Real say she moving to the left, that makes you right for the night, but ballin'. I'm on my job and there ain't no calling, no. So you gotta work it. You gotta work it, work it, work it, work it, yeah. It's too late to leave a girl, and I'm a big into the burn on my love. I ain't trying to be no real girl. Go ahead, do your handle, you know you hold my love. Let's get it.
Yeah, for real.
I said let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. I said let's get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they be pumping out like this right now.
Sweating.
That shit hard. Ooh.
That shit crazy. Just that all over the world music. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody can feel that. They play that music out.
Too many
They
times,
gonna play the raid.
many lies. Who's in my mind? What to decide? You pick the
Somebody
side.
did this song?
Right. Why?
You can't waste some time.
Somebody got blessed.
Right, listen, right. To be on this,
Yeah, bro. That shit is like.
Too many times, too many lies. Cruising my mind, what to decide? You pick the side, fooling each guy. You can't erase them ties.
You said guess the feature?
what feature?
Yeah.
The feature's already on it.
Yeah.
The feature's on it.
Somebody was on
There's
it.
another nigga that's on this that's not you.
Yeah, in the
Word.
background.
And it's a dude.
Okay.
Missed it.
I missed it totally.
Missed it 100%.
It was in the beginning.
I don't know where it was at.
I know who
Get
did it.
stuck
though.
in there.
Who?
Young boy that you played earlier today.
Nah.
No,
No.
really?
I ain't even
No.
gonna guess.
I know
'cause
who
I
did
ain't
it.
even-
Who?
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Damn. I'm
In
gonna
the
bring that out,
background,
but if
though.
y'all can guess it, we're giving out a fucking prize.
Hell yeah! If y'all can guess who that
I
was,
should've known
because
that.
I didn't get it
I
right.
should've
I
known
want to
that.
let you know that.
I should have known that. Yeah.
That shit is crazy.
We should have known that.
It's random.
I gotta hear it again now.
Yeah,
Honestly,
you.
true.
I could. Yeah.
Oh.
It definitely sounds like you had fun making that.
Yeah, hold on,
We're
hold
gonna
on.
drop another exclusive.
Yeah, hold on.
Exclusive.
Exclusive.
But I'm gonna play another one.
Only here.
If this is the right one. Oh yes, this one.
Damn.
Yeah. And it's cool because I made these beats.
She gon'
Oh,
give
man,
it all.
like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Why you doing that? Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night. I don't need no nobody getting in my way. So what you ain't participate. Time is on my mind, but it doesn't coexist. It's different in a church. Okay, I was in a different when you're the lonely girl. But guess I put a place. I don't even know these days what soul is which. Hey, I'm just saying. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night. Please don't kill my vibe. Please don't kill my vibe. You've been doing that same shit all night.
That need to be on the radio.
Exclusive.
That need to be on the radio right now.
Let's go, man.
Oh, he said exclusive. Put that on 96. Y'all listen to the pop station? That should be on there.
Word.
Immediately.
Anything you want to say to the people before you?
Oh, shit, man. Keep fucking working. That's really keep. Oh shit, the camera right there. Keep grinding. Keep working. Shout out to all my niggas. Shout out Acid Trip. Shout out the whole Second Nature. Shout out the Lifeline Collective. Shout out Crown. Shout out the whole Deeper gang. What's left of it. You know what I'm saying? Not to say it like that, but niggas know what's up. Motherfucking and shout out everybody that been supporting the nigga and supporting this podcast, you know what I'm saying? Speaking truth and all that. Keep grinding. It's really nothing else a nigga can say, because if you keep grinding, you will see results. Don't worry about shit, just keep grinding.
Let's go. We out this bitch. Every day's a podcast. You see it. We kicking it. I hope y'all still watching. Let's great. You know what I mean?
What? Who you say? Let's break.
You didn't even know what I said.
You said let's break.
I thought you said let's break.
That's what it sound like?
Yeah. That's what you said.
Let's go, guys.
I thought you said
Let's go. Let's go. I said the word wrong, but you know.
So I thought it was like the end of the podcast, like let's break over. But you know, Q be fucking up.
Sometimes.
And it's cool. Every day the podcast is over now.
Let's break.
Damn.
I like that.
What was you trying to say?
No, I don't know. I kept talking. I was like, damn, I'm running out of words. I wasn't trying to.